Vegas, what up, yo? I don't know if my esteemed co-host even remembered that we're doing this tonight or not. This will be season 3 of Gray Batter if we decide to begin, but football season began this week. Anyway, Kendrick, what up, man? Yeah, usually this is all about rap music. Tuesday nights is about football, but I don't know where my co-hosts are. But yeah, I don't use an interface, dude. I don't record people anymore. P's not here, so I only mix records. And I mix records at home. Because my motto, my entire career has been, it's not the gear, it's the ears. Doesn't matter what you got. If you don't know how to use it, then who cares? So, a lesson I learned from Alchemist a really, really long time ago is master what's in front of you first. So, I always kind of wanted to prove a point when mixing records in the box that I don't need none of that shit. Now, don't get me wrong. All that dope studio stuff is awesome to have. But what happens if you don't have it? Then what? So, yeah, man. Yeah, man, me and P, we did did one or two songs together, you might say. But yeah, now that P's not here, it's been 5 years. I don't record anybody anymore. I am semi-retired. Hey man, where my co-host at? There's so much NFL news going on right now that we need to have these discussions. It is time. It is time. It is time. Yeah, I don't know what else to do with myself right now. I've been working on that Paid in Fools beat for the last 3 days. Shit. I guess we move on to this one. This one was next anyway. I wonder if anybody on YouTube sees that it says sports and like clicks on my channel right now expecting to hear me talk about sports. And instead, I'm smoking weed and playing rap music like I always do. Oh well, I'm just keep on working until Carrie gets here. Hey, look at this guy.
Yeah,
Look at this guy.
it's been so long since we've done this, I fucking forgot.
I figured you forgot.
I was like, why do I have to zoom it back? Oh, yeah.
I was like, I know we talked about this, but I don't know if you are aware that we were actually going to do this tonight.
Yeah, all good. There's a lot of shit going on.
That's what I'm saying. We kind of have to get started, man. There's a lot of shit that just happened today.
Damn.
There you are. Now I can hear you.
Yeah. Wish I had.
Yeah, I had no.
Vino was something. Damn. Shit.
I had forgot to hit up Nice and Roger and let them know we was getting back into it. I just was like, maybe they'll check their email.
Yeah. Well, good. No one them to doubt it.
Well, Roger Harper is here in spirit.
Yeah. Indeed.
So, welcome back, homie. Welcome to Season 3 of Gray Matter. Football season has officially begun. All teams are in camp right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, you remember how it used to be like they'd be scattered when they showed up to camp? Now all teams are showing up all at once.
Yeah, which I like.
Except for the Hall of Fame game teams. They started yesterday.
Oh, okay.
So, but it's only 1 day difference, and nobody gives a fuck about the Hall of Fame game anyway.
I mean, the best thing about it is that football is back.
Yeah.
Like the football we want to see. Not the XFL or CFL. The football we want to see. Even though XFL is expanding, so I don't want to shit on it just yet.
No, the NFL needs a feeder system.
They do.
They just haven't.
They
They just never had one that worked.
Yeah, I feel like they are putting into this one.
Yeah.
And with Rock behind it,
Yeah, I was gonna say when The Rock got involved, that kind of made shit. They started to take shit serious.
Yeah, it was like legitimized, not Vince fucking McMahon.
Well, you know what? The NFL better get on it and create a feeder system before Liv does, and Saudi Arabia starts fucking.
Oh, stop playing! That would be ridiculous, yo. Cause what's somebody from Jacksonville, Florida, look like playing football in Dubai? They would do it though.
100%.
I would.
Well, they were already talking about. So we'll just bounce around on topics because I don't really have a list, but I got a bunch of shit to talk about. So the NFL has a game in Germany for the first time since the World League. You remember NFL Europe? A lot of people don't, but there used to be a feeder system called NFL Europe where Adam Vinatieri came from. Kurt Warner played there. Tommy Maddox was a MVP there, and then starter for the Steelers for a few years. So
yes, he was.
And it just didn't work out because it was way ahead of its time. Now, dude, they have the Bucks and Seahawks are playing in Germany this year.
Mm-hmm.
5 million ticket requests. Million.
Listen, let me tell you something.
Million with an M. 5 million. They had 850,000 people in line on queue when they went on sale.
That's what happened with the G's and the Packers. They said that they were not going to allow tickets until like 9:30 a.m. But those bastards did 9:30 a.m. London time, which is 5 hours before us. So by the time 9:30, by the time 9 o'clock came, there were already 200-something thousand people in line.
So they were talking about the inevitability of they're bringing back the Concorde jet. You're talking London to New York.
Oh, that'd be dope. Yeah, let me in so I can get off my phone.
Yeah, London to New York in just a couple 4 hours. Are we back?
Even even if it's not the Concorde, It's not that bad of a ride. It's not that long.
Well, no, but if you can do that, then why not have a team based there? So the Jags would instantly be the team that's like going to be seen going over there because nobody gives a fuck about them. They play in London already every year.
That's their home team.
They've been building that up for years. That's like a 10-year plan they've been working on, and so the next thing, Kerry, though, is do you know how the NFL could make a power move? Have the Super Bowl in London.
Oh yeah, that would be a power move.
The whole world watches it anyway.
Anyway.
Yeah, all the rich people are going to go no matter where it's at anyway. So why not just have it in London?
I will say. I'll tell you why. Because of all of the American fans, they're like, "Hey, what you do with my football? That's my Super Bowl. Where my Super Bowl gone?
They took our gerbs and they took our sports.
They took our Super Bowl." Listen, yeah. So for that reason and that reason alone,
It's going to happen. Whether
I can see London.
that's what I'm saying. I can see a Super Bowl in London.
Germany would be asking a lot.
Nah, see, they're just going to. It's just the NFL. The NFL has a huge base in Germany because if you go back to the World League, the NFL Europe League, like
they still play.
half of the teams were in Germany.
Right.
4 of the 8, and they still play professional football over there.
Yeah, they do. But what I'm saying is, like, if you were to have some American fans that wanted to go, if you're saying London versus Germany, though.
No, London would be the only one for a very long time. But
that's what I'm saying. I think London will be the only one for a long time, and then eventually they'll get to.
But the
Germany
thing is,
in Japan,
London is so much closer than the other ones are far away. Like I could see London happening within the next 10 years.
London is a 5-hour flight.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I could totally see that would happen. And like you said, it's a worldwide game. It's just the timing of it. What time, based on American time, what time is the Super Bowl going to start if it's in London?
True.
That would be the only thing.
I mean, it's a 5-hour difference from the East Coast. So if you account for the West Coast, that's an 8-hour difference. So if you started it at, well, it starts at like 6, 7 anyway.
Yeah, you could start it at 8 something, maybe 9.
8, and then it'll be a noon Super Bowl. Like if you're on the West Coast, throw a barbecue. I mean, you chill, and then you can still go to the club after. I mean, like you could have a whole day.
I mean, fuck, dude. World Cup fans been dealing with this shit forever.
Yeah.
Have to wake up at 4 a.m. to watch a game.
Yeah, them soccer fans be at the bar at 6 in the morning. They don't care. They'll be right there.
I could totally see that happen. And then, I've been advocating for the Chargers to get moved to Mexico City for years now.
I know.
Just make it happen, people. Just come on.
Mexico loves football.
Loves it. And the Chargers were basically a stone's throw away, a tequila bottle throw away from Mexico anyway. So, come on.
Played a semi-pro all-star game out there.
And
we got mauled. They were not playing. They knew what they were doing.
The battle for LA was declared very quickly with the Rams winning the Super Bowl in year 2 of this experiment. It's just like, oh, you're not the LA's team right now because LA sports fans they back the winners. It's just the way they are. So
True. Here's what I can see though. People of the Rams, we look at the Rams the way they're constructed right now. You got Matthew Stafford. How much longer does he have left? Aaron Donald was thinking about retiring. I mean, Jalen Ramsey's in his prime, but he's inching toward So it's just a lot of older players on the Rams where I could see the Chargers are young and they are ready.
Well, Kerry, I look at the Rams as long as they keep winning, they're all going to keep playing. Once they don't win a Super Bowl, you're going to see players go get bigger contracts, coaches get better deals somewhere else, better jobs.
The Chargers will be ripe for taking that city over because they'll still be there. I mean,
so speaking of my favorite team to watch during the last 2 seasons, so Sean Payton has been talking about how much he loves the Chargers roster, and
man, I've been saying that. Someone was like, "Oh, it's a done deal. Sean Payton going to the Cowboys, whatever."
And even we said that, but then once I found out the Chargers were on the table, I was like, this is a no-brainer. Go to the Chargers. I would wait. I would go to the. It's not even a question.
The type of coach Sean Payton is. Are you kidding me? Do you know what he'll do with that offense? Are you kidding me? They'd win a Super Bowl. They'd win a Super Bowl with him.
Yeah, it's not even a question. It's too easy.
And people forget because it's all focused on Herbert and what he can do, and Keenan Allen being the most slept-on receiver in football, and Mike Williams getting a huge deal, Austin Eckler having 22 touchdowns or whatever it was last year. Like, the offense is crazy. That defense is absolutely loaded, and they added fucking Khalil Mack.
And J.C. Jackson,
the best cover corner in football the last 2 seasons, in J.C. Jackson. So
and hopefully Derwin James can stay healthy, and then you have one of the best safeties in the game.
I think with those 2 additions, kind of makes his job a little bit easier. He doesn't have to push so much.
And you got now, it's your second year with your was Rashawn a left tackle or left guard? That big offensive lineman they got last year, who I wanted for the G's, and he balled last year, so we can assume he's going to be better this year.
Yeah,
so,
they're absolutely fucking loaded, dude. It's just the only issue that they have is their division is hands down. It might be the hardest division that I've seen in football in a very long time, because actually all 4 teams could win that division, and not by attrition, not a 6-13 or 6-11 team going to the playoffs.
But they could actually have the dumbest coach in that division.
Well, that's why Sean Payton's waiting in the wings, because he knows if Brandon Staley doesn't prove himself this season and fucks up again, because unfortunately that is one of the 4 horsemen of the NFL apocalypse, that the Chargers are going to blow games late. It doesn't matter who their coach is, who their quarterback is. They have been doing it since we've been watching football.
Yeah.
Like, it's like guaranteed, like clockwork.
Yeah.
Matt Ryan only beats teams that have quarterbacks worse than him.
It might look different this year, though.
Well, that's because Matt Ryan's not an idiot, and he will hand the ball off 40 times a game if he has to. So, speaking of the Colts, very inactive in free agency and the draft regarding wide receiver depth. They just had a wide receiver go on IR again today. So now they're down one more guy. And speaking of lack of wide receiver,
it's not my man Pittman.
No, it wasn't. It's a guy that's his 3rd year, but he's a camp superhero and keeps getting hurt. It doesn't make it into the season, and they just been waiting for him. Like, wait until this guy, wait until he gets on the field.
Victor Cruz, but Victor Cruz only missed 1, and then he came back and we won the season.
So this is his 3rd year with injuries.
Gotcha.
Right into camp.
They really like him.
They really do, but they're lacking so much depth because there were 2 elephants in the wide receiver free agent room still sitting there. Odell, because of his injury, probably going to end up going back to the Rams, even though they got
Allen Robinson the second.
Allen Robinson, which is
great.
Yeah, Matthew Stafford's going to love that guy.
Loaded. I mean, loaded. There's no excuses for Staff. None.
Absolutely none. But also, Julio
went to Tampa.
Just signed with Tampa.
1-year deal.
What an embarrassment of riches that Tom keeps fumbling himself into. Because Julio gets to be the number 3 receiver.
Yeah.
When
I saw it, I was like, people were going nuts off of name recognition alone. But we've seen Julio the last 5 years, and it's been like he's fallen off a cliff. But with him now just being the 3rd, and if Gronk was back, then I would say
Gronk will come back.
Just get a home fucking run.
Yeah, Gronk will come back.
You have Julio and Gronk, you're scoring a touchdown every single time in the red zone. I don't give a shit.
So this is why I, as a football purist and Tom Brady's #1 fan, am all about this. Ryan Tannehill does not know how to use the people around him. So we didn't get to see what Julio is actually capable of in this time period because Ryan Tannehill actually forgot that he had A.J. Brown on his team for half the fucking season. And then it was just like, oh, shit, yeah, I forgot. I got this guy that can't be stopped.
And as soon as he started throwing to him, win.
Without Derrick Henry, they went on a run. So, and Julio should probably, and Larry Fitzgerald will probably call him and let him know, listen, man, you're about to move down to like the third guy, move into the slot, and extend your career another 6 or 7 seasons like I did.
How old is Julio now? 33?
Yeah, but it's not his age, it's the fact that the last couple years have been injury prone.
Hurt a lot. Yeah. Because a guy like that, with his physicality, like his being as in shape as he's in, he should have been able to play till he's 38.
Now, also, Kerry, you forget, so much has happened, and this is the first time we've done this since basically 2 weeks after the Super Bowl. The Bucs also signed Russell Gage, who was Atlanta's best receiver. Yeah. They are absolutely fucking stacked. Stacked. Yeah, loaded. And their defense is, come on, their defense.
Julio and Mike Evans. And then you got to assume Godwin's going to come back at some point.
Yeah, they're saying he won't possibly, now that they signed Julio and Russell Gage, there's no reason to, 17 games to rush him back into week 1. You don't need him right now. You don't fucking need him. This team.
You still got Cameron Brate, who is a good tight end.
Yeah.
He's a good tight end. I think they drafted someone.
They did draft somebody, but everybody knows Gronk is coming back. He's going to come back for the playoff run.
You got to assume that. Until it just doesn't happen.
Especially if the Bucs aren't dominant. If they're just getting into the playoffs and they're like, listen, man, we're missing that one thing. Yeah. Look what happened last year when AB decided to quit playing for them. They were missing that one thing.
They would with AB, I think they beat the Rams.
Yeah. I mean, they almost beat them anyway. It was one missed coverage and teardrop throw to the best receiver in football from the second best thrower of the football in the NFL. I mean, it was just like, Eli to fucking what's-his-face on the sideline.
Mario Manningham.
It was perfect.
Biscuit in the basket.
It was perfect. So, look for the Bucs to absolutely... He came back for a reason. Yeah. He's not going to come back if he didn't think they could, make a run. Now, the only thing besides Gronk not being there, O.J. Howard's gone, but he didn't really do anything. And Leonard Fournette showed up at camp at about 265.
I know, but you don't need him to be playoff Lenny week 1.
This is true. We know this.
The problem is they got rid of Rojo.
Yeah.
They got rid of Ronald Jones, who went to the Chiefs, which I think is great for him. And I think we'll finally get to see him get busy, especially catching the rock off the bat.
Well, it's funny because
he didn't do great, but in Tampa Bay, but
well, with Tom Brady as your quarterback and you're a running back, you have to be able to catch the ball out of the backfield. He is going to get it to you. And it's funny because Bruce Arians isn't the head coach, and Bruce Arians is the one who didn't like Rojo. He's the one who kept sending him to the bench.
He is. He liked Fournette, but he wanted someone to smash in there. Whereas, Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy will use Rojo. I mean, from my estimation, he goes in as the best running back the Chiefs have. Because Clyde Edwards-Helaire has not stayed healthy, and he's showed flashes, but Jerick McKinnon, you can't count on him. He's small. I mean, and then they had that third string cat who did show some promise, but he just don't get enough reps. So Rojo goes in there being their best running back.
Words.
He picked up some weight. I mean, some muscle. He's fast, and they forget they were comparing him to Reggie Bush at one point.
Yeah.
So this kid don't suck.
No, not at all.
He just needs to be in the right situation.
So transitioning on to the Chiefs, big news for them. Tyreek Hill out.
Yeah.
So
doing a lot of talking.
A lot.
I think he's the last person who needed to get a podcast. I'll be honest. This podcast game ain't for everybody.
He is looking very Antonio Brownish right now.
That's what I'm saying. This podcast game ain't for everybody.
Speaking of AB, you saw his Rolling Loud performance?
No, hell no. Why?
Because it's hilarious.
Oh my god.
He's got his own dance. You got it. You just put it on mute. Don't listen to it. Just watch it.
The only thing I've seen is Kid Cudi get hit in the face and then say, "Better not do it again. Do it again. I'm leaving." Immediately, boop. That's it.
So
Like, as soon as I saw the first bottle, I'm like, "Oh, y'all tripping." I'm not even announcing it. I'm like, "Oh, all right, I see what it is."
So
I ain't gotta say nothing.
So Tyreek goes to Miami and instantly starts claiming that Tua has, like, the best arm in the NFL, blah, blah, blah. We all know this.
Most accurate. Which he can be accurate, but he can be accurate for 5-10 yards, no doubt.
Well, there's a guy named Aaron Rodgers who's pretty fucking accurate with the football.
Most accurate.
Yeah.
That's what I was right.
Like,
have you not seen that cat play? He is the most accurate.
Of all time.
Of all time. It's not even a question.
Yeah, like,
That's a silly thing to say.
I think everyone knows that, Tom, to me, come on, it's not even, it's a 20-year obsession at this point. He's not even close to the accuracy that Aaron Rodgers has. Now, don't get it twisted. Tom Brady is outrageously accurate, but in a whole different way. It's like systematic accuracy. Right read, throws it exactly where it's supposed to, so his guy doesn't get hit. Keep the chains moving.
He has like that Chad Pennington accuracy with a stronger arm.
Yeah. And then Aaron Rodgers just makes throws that you're just like, well, he's the only guy who can do that shit.
Period.
Nobody else can do that. It did help Tom a lot to have Gronk, who his catch radius was 18 feet and also had the softest hands ever, making stupid catches like.
And also, he had a bona fide killer who didn't give a shit for a couple of years, who was murdering out there on the field and off. So,
Yeah, that's one of that's the biggest what if in Patriots history. That's for fucking sure. So speaking of wide receivers leaving, Davante Adams, which we knew was going to happen. We talked about it. Went back to his boy. Pick up Davante in fantasy. He's going to have a fucking huge year. He's going to have a huge. He's too. Even if you try to cover him, he's too good. He can still get open. And
this is true.
Derek Carr is the most underrated quarterback in the NFL.
I will say yes. We've been saying that. But I will also say they gotta, and they're working on it right now. They gotta reestablish that chemistry because, Aaron was going to throw to Davante double covered. It didn't matter. But they had worked that out, and plus Aaron we already know how accurate he is. So you really got to figure out, they got to figure that out. I could see some turnovers happening early with him trying to get it. I'm actually looking at Hunter Renfrow and Waller.
That's what I was just about to say, though, because what Derek Carr has and now what Davante Adams has is what Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams never had. Is a top-tier offensive player who's on your team. Because Darren Waller is a fucking monster. You can't double them both.
20 balls on you.
Yeah, you can't double both of them at all times. It's impossible. So, and, Davante is smart enough and productive enough to know you don't have to feed him the ball every time. He will get his spots.
So, and if Hunter Renfrow isn't the best slot receiver this year, something's wrong.
So that's what I'm saying. Then you also have this guy running made-up routes.
Crazy routes. He should eat.
That's what I'm saying. So if they can get a running game going, which, fantasy-wise, what's his name? Jacobs. Don't
forget Drake.
Yeah, so we'll see, man. We'll see. We'll see. I actually picked them to win that division, even though I'm a huge Chargers fan. It's just...
And I also, just because that defense, remember, I know we made tons of fun of it because they have 1,000 safeties, but Trey went to, who's the lineman that was getting busy for them? Well, Nassib was getting busy, but there was another guy on the other side who was getting busy too. Who's a monster. And then they actually got some good linebacker help, which they really needed.
Well, I look at it like this, Kerry. They won their division last year going through the Chucky drama in the beginning of the season. And not really having any wide receivers that are like Davante Adams.
No.
And they won that division.
A. Jones. You had another murderer. You had that other kid, Brandon something, and he was mostly miss, never really hit. He had like 2 good games.
He was Kimbrell Tompkins. That's exactly who he reminded me of.
Oh yeah, he was. So sad. So you really just had Hunter Renfrow and Waller. I remember one game where Derek would look around and be like, fuck it, where's Waller?
Yeah.
And Waller had about 17, 18 catches that game.
Yeah.
If he didn't get 20, yeah, he was eating.
So, that's what I'm saying. I can see their offense. The only problem with that division, when all the teams are that good, they're just going to eat each other up. That's the only thing, is they have to each play each other twice, so you're looking at splits across the board, essentially.
So whoever has the best season on the road will control their fate. Even if everybody's split, if everybody's split, it's going to come down to road games.
Yep. So keep it on the wide receivers moving to new places. The Eagles are going to win their division. Adding A.J. Brown, who is Jalen Hurts' best friend, and we know how that can be a boost.
Everyone keeps going with Dallas, and I'm like, check this Philly out. Even though it hurts me to say it, I'm like, oh, check this Philly out.
Oh, dude, as soon as they signed him, I was just like, oh, no, forget about it. Forget about it.
But it wasn't just him. He was huge. But then, they drafted well.
They had the best draft, probably.
Now you have another year with those guys who were rookies last year. So now you got Devontae Smith, who has another year on him, who now has AJ on the other side.
He doesn't have to be a number one, which is being the number one in the NFL.
Still got Dallas Goedert. The running game, you have to assume, is going to get better. Miles Sanders is going to have a better year. You just got to. He's going to have a better year.
Well, you know what? Fortunately,
have a better year.
Well, fortunately for them, whoever was at running back was productive. They had 6 running backs last year.
They had Boston Scott. They had Miles Sanders.
They had Henderson was getting busy.
Yeah.
And then, they had another guy who stepped in because...
Corey Clement.
Yeah, that's one. So they had 5 of them, and all of them, it looked like the old Broncos teams, where it just kind of didn't matter who was in there. The running game was effective.
Mike Anderson, get in there.
Orlandis Gary, here's 1,000-yard series.
Gary. No Sean Moreno, stop crying and get your ass in there. Fucking projectile tearing.
So, yes, I can see them having a huge year. Jalen Hurts is going to have a huge year. It's make or break for him.
That's what I'm saying. Jalen. If I can get him, Jalen Hurts, it's going to be my second quarterback. I'm going to get one of them. It's either going to be Jalen or it's going to be Kyler.
Yeah, let's talk about this guy.
Who got forced to do homework because apparently he spent too much damn time playing them video games.
Yeah, let's talk about this now that you brought it up. Let's. What do you think about your quarterback having to have a clause in his $100 million guaranteed contract that says 4 hours a week, not a day?
Let me tell you
something. A week, dude. That's nothing.
Let me tell you something. If Kyler was standing in front of me like this, I would always be standing like this, giving him the side eye. Knowing how much I study, and you get this much, but you got some video games. Listen, they got to beg you to practice or study, and you my quarterback. I'm looking at you sideways, bro. Unless we go to the Super Bowl, you got to take us to the show. I'm looking at you sideways all season.
So a fan put out a very, very, very interesting and telling graphic. Kyler Murray's production per season, the last 3 years, coincides with the release each year of Call of Duty, and his game immediately plummets after Call of Duty comes out. I'm not making this shit up, people. This is a real thing.
I'm saying? This is what I'm talking about.
So I bet you inside, because you added yourself twice. I bet you inside of that, it's $130 million guaranteed. I bet you inside of that, there's also limits on how much he can play during the season. He's like a little child. They have to make sure he studies and make sure he doesn't play video games too
Well,
much.
I don't know. Well, I wonder. I mean, they could make him not like riding motorcycles and all that. But I mean, if you think about it, you're a quarterback. You like this. You get like carpal tunnel. You can mess your hand. I mean, you play video games and like you playing all your wrists get all sore and hands, and you got to throw the fucking rock and be accurate. I mean, yeah, that you got to protect all that, man.
I mean, I think that's the almost Jamarcus Russell territory where they send you with blank game film and then you come back the next day and be like, yeah, I checked on all the blitz packages, and they know that they sent you home with blank film. How are you worth $100 million and you're too busy playing Call of Duty to study football? It's a game, dude.
Like, you gave up an entire baseball career where I'm sure you could take your whatever system you have with you on the road anywhere and plug that shit up and then just be chilling in your hotel room, go play a game, and then go to, like, you just got to go play.
Yeah.
Like, he would be what? Shortstop, second base, or whatever in the league? What do you have to do? Play baseball. Like, you ain't really got shit to study. I mean, you would like to know the pitchers. Like, in the pitches, you should do that. You should study your opponent. You should. But, you know, baseball, like, those who really do, like Tony Gwynn, studied like a monster. He could tell you. He already knew what you were going to do. That's why his batting average was always over 300, and he was the last person to almost get 400. So like, there's a difference. Quarterbacks who win Super Bowls, they love football. They're all about the team winning. I'll watch a billion hours of game film. First one in, I'm the last one out. Lead by example. All that shit, right? Kyler Murray is not. He's like Jay Cutler. He's just like, yo, I can play. I'm really good at this game, and so that's why I do it. He's on the exercise bike watching the third string quarterback during a playoff game. I will never forget that.
Yeah, so like,
that's how serious that shit is to me. I'm like,
I mean, this is
for real, bro.
This is like, this is so bad. This is so. They're never going to win a Super Bowl with Arizona.
Like, check this out. Imagine if Kyler Murray wanted it like Cam Newton. Say whatever you want to about Cam now, if he's washed or whatever like that. Whatever you say, that motherfucker wanted it. And he wanted it bad, and he took his squad to the Super Bowl and was MVP of the league.
What if Kyler Murray wanted it like Jameis Winston wants it? That guy works harder than anybody.
Another one. Jameis Winston wants it desperately. Where he's almost eating his fingers. Got to eat these dubs. He wants it.
Yo, Kerry, this is incredible. I could see, like, if it's a wide receiver or a corner or something, and it's just like, yo, come on, dude. You're just out there off athletic. But this is a fucking quarterback.
Even if he wanted it as much as Geno Smith.
I was going to say.
When Geno got in the game?
I was going to say Geno.
Like, he was so mad that he threw that interception as they were, like, coming back, and he was so hyped. He was like, I got DK. I'm throwing it to DK all the time. Like, if you just want it like that, you'd play consistently better. It's crazy to me.
I mean, he's got the Randy Moss attitude, but he's playing the wrong position. You can't do that at quarterback.
But like, also, Randy was a unicorn.
Yeah, that's.
Tyler, you're not a unicorn.
That's what I'm saying, man. He's got that attitude. It's like he's got Kanye West attitude without the hits.
Yes.
It's just like, yo, dude, calm down a bit. Calm down. Yeah. You get bailed out a lot because you've got a wide receiver who literally catches everything that you throw within 50 feet of him.
But also, we got to also consider this, which is also a real thing. Like, those cats who really, really, really want it, usually are coming up out the mud, and they got to, like, take care of their brothers and sisters, their mom. They want to get their mom house. Kyler grew up in the suburbs of Dallas. Like, his pops got him a private quarterback coach. He's been playing, like, he was on travel teams since he was like 6
and you could tell.
Years old.
And you could tell he's like,
he's just like, man, whatever. Like, if he never played a sport again, he'd still be all right. He's never hurt for anything.
You could tell he's like,
hurt.
you could tell when Cliff Kingsbury's just like, yo, man, you need to fucking watch film. He's just like, shut up, Dad, and play video games. Go outside. You need to hang out with your teammates. These are my teammates. He's talking about FaZe Clan.
So see, this is why the Cardinals kept steady leaking stuff. Like he's immature. Is this? They weren't getting right to it. They're like, but it was down to some damn video games. I remember you mentioned that he was on some video game league before, and I was like, are you for real?
Yeah, he's big. He's big time.
And I was thinking, and you said it was big time, and I was like, where does he find the time? He is an NFL quarterback. How do you have time for that?
Well, yeah, he doesn't watch film, apparently.
Huh?
He doesn't watch film. That's where he gets the time. All that time that quarterbacks are watching film, he doesn't watch it. So I put out...
Those kids are playing 40 to 80 hours a week. It's their full-time ass job.
You know, it's crazy because I put it on Twitter because, you know, Pat McAfee with the giveaways, so you got to tweet something. And I said, yo, I bet you Tom Brady's kids watched more game film this week than Kyler did.
Yep.
Just by walking in, being in the house and being around Tom. Like, oh, shit, he's watching film again. 20 fucking years of this shit.
I would ask Tom Brady's daughter, the youngest one. I'd be like, yo, do ZY Banana. And I bet you she executed perfectly.
100%. 100%. Yo, it's absolutely incredible. All right, so I'm going to end this one and open up a new one before we move on. Oh, we got enough time to talk about this. So give Cardinals some credit. Yo, that black helmet, I don't know if you got to see it yet.
Yes. Joe. And that's what I'm saying. I want to give the Cardinals credit because we were killing the Cardinals. They're like, yo, why you not paying this kid? This guy's nice. Now we know.
We get it, but yo, I don't know if you saw all the details of that helmet. So it has like red metal, like a ghost metal flake in it, but all that red shit is mined from the Arizona deserts. I was just like, oh, they went all in on these helmets.
So like that shit like has like crystals and like that sand's supposed to be like, you know.
That's what I'm saying. So when you see
that, it got like that mystical, you know what I mean?
It's all black, but when the light hits it, it turns red. That shit is fucking amazing.
That's crazy.
They're right up.
Larry should come back alone just for one more season, just for that.
They're right up there with the Panthers' new helmets. That all black Panthers helmet with the just all blue pant. That shit is amazing.
No, them shits be smacking for real.
That shit is
They stepped it up. Now the Bengals' new helmet, white with black stripes. I'm like,
See, we thought they should have went black with orange.
Yeah,
it would have been dope.
Talking about
something different. All right, let me re-up, and then we'll talk about the other helmets because there's a lot of them. Welcome back to alternate uniforms, which I'm all about. So I'll see you in like 1 minute. All right, old school Zoom. You figured that I would have bought a membership to this shit at this point, but fuck it. Because I know every time that we need to re-up, it is time to roll the fuck up. That would be hilarious if Nice just pops in out of nowhere. But I can promise you, that shit ain't happening. Yeah, dude, the new Arizona helmets are absolutely fucking amazing. They are very reminiscent of the Louisville Cardinals had a alternate helmet for like 2 games one year when Lamar Jackson was quarterback. And those helmets are literally the greatest helmets of all time. Me and Carrie actually we were texting about it today. We're still in agreement. Those Louisville helmets were the best helmets that anyone has ever made. You guys want to know something hilarious? One of the reasons that I picked the school that I did to play football in college is because I like the colors. I like their colors more than the other teams that I could have gone and played for. Absolutely retarded reason to make a decision on which school you're going to go put yourself in debt to so you can play football, but that was literally the last deciding factor of where I was going to go. Was I like their uniforms. I don't think I've ever told Carrie that. See, I was a New Yorker before I ever moved to New York. That's something somebody from New York would do. That's so funny. That'd have been super dope. If we'd had alternate uniforms and shit when we played back in the day, but you know, see, this is how old I am. I'm about to give you a back in my day story. Go back when I played, back in my day, by the end of the season, you could tell who played because their helmet was fucked up. You did not get that shit redone before every game. In Notre Dame, they actually paint that gold paint is 24 karat gold. How much money does your college have that you have 24 karat gold plated helmets? That's like the ultimate fucking flex. Yeah, man. It's got 24 karat gold in the fucking paint and shit. Just like Arizona doing that crystals and sand mined from the Arizona desert inside of the paint on their helmets. This shit is fucking awesome. Alright. Where did my esteemed co-host? All my co-hosts abandoned me. The wolf is not in here either. You know what I need to do? Since it was roll-up time, and we're waiting for Carrie, I should have played the roll-up song. Beef, I don't think I ever stop smoking. I don't think I ever will. Alright, let's play the roll-up theme.
Sound from the heavens, from the heavens. 33 sound from the heavens, 33 sound from the heavens, from the heavens. Look up, look up, look up. That's a sound from the heavens. Look up, look up, look up. I'm out of space high. Look up, look up, look up. I'm out of space high. Look up, look up, look up. I'm out of space high. Look up, look up, look up. I'm out of space high. Man, I'm going in the motherfucker. That's a sound from the heavens.
Flawless timing. So I was talking about while you were away, the greatest. See, watch everybody, watch this. The greatest helmets of all time.
Oh, Louisville Cardinals.
See, I try to tell you people, those helmets were so dope that everybody I know was literally texting each other while this game was happening. Like, are you seeing this right now? I remember Kirk Herbstreit actually talking about him during the game. He kept talking about him like, these are really impressive lids. That's all he kept saying.
This is fine, yo.
Greatest helmets I've ever seen. Those Cardinal ones are close, man. That black, that thing is dope, man. So the Giants going throwback. I'm not a real big fan of that because that color scheme looks too much like the Bills.
Yeah, but we were around before the Bills.
No, I know that. I'm just saying the Bills are a better team right now, and they're in New York.
Well, see, but that's what we're trying to do. We trying to go back to when we were a better fucking team. We got to do something because it ain't our quarterback.
Yo, goddamn it, OJ. He ruined the throwback with the Buffalo on the side because, those old Buffalo Bills throwbacks are kind of dope.
Like, listen, if Danny Dum Dum could just give me Hostetler, if you could give me Hostetler, we'd be straight.
Okay, so let me ask you something. Because I know you saw this. The Niners today have officially formed Jimmy G that they are running with Trey Lance. Not that he's free to seek a trade because they did that last week already.
Right.
So if they trade him, whoever picks him up, it's $20 million against the cap. If they just wait and the Niners cut him, his contract starts all over at zero. The Niners have to eat some fees or something, I'm sure, something. But, so every team's just going to wait. Do the G-men go after Jimmy G?
They're not. They're not.
They're really going to stick with this idiot, aren't they?
They are.
Oh, my God. You guys suck.
At least, okay, check this. At least for this year, for now. But here's also the thing. You don't get a injury-prone Jimmy G for a team that's still building. You get a Jimmy G that you have a solid foundation around him, and you just doesn't have to lose the game.
Pittsburgh.
The G's need a quarterback that can win games.
This is true. I'm just saying, because we all know how much Danny Dumbles sucks.
I know. I know. But yeah, but you don't get Jimmy G. What if he fucks around and has like we protect him, he has a decent season, and then we have him, but it's still like middle of the...
see, here's the problem. You pick up Jimmy G for one season at $20 million, right? And he has a good season where he's healthy, right?
Yeah.
And then now he's going to command $30 million because quarterbacks are making $50 million right now. So 30's nothing. And it's just like, damn, do you really want to give up 30? Because then the next season he's going to miss 8 games.
Right.
It's Jimmy G.
See, like, if you're Jimmy G, I feel like at this point, because how old is he? He's about 31, right? At this point, I would guess you would want to... You know what? What really wouldn't be that bad?
I know.
If he tried to tiptoe down to Tampa.
I was just about to say, Kerry,
wouldn't be that bad.
You know what he should do is go back up Taub, because Taub's only going to be there 2 years max.
That's it. And what's your competition? Blaine Gabbert and Trask out of Florida? Go to Tampa, son. I would.
You know what it's like to be...
I'm not going to leave San Francisco a nice, warm-ish, like good weather, to then go back to New England. That's terrible.
Well, now they got back Joe's anyway.
I mean, I know, but they were like, "Oh, he should go back." I was like, "That doesn't make any sense."
He should go to Tampa.
Or like, because Detroit will be available. I ain't going there. I would go. I would either try to go back up Winston, right? But Winston's gonna play, and if I want to play, then I'm going to Tampa Bay, back up Tom. The job is mine in 2 years or less.
Yeah, and he has playing with Tom experience, which this is a big fucking deal. This is what LeBron runs into at this point in his career. Is like, that's why he's constantly getting the same guys to follow him, because you have to know how to play with and be around somebody that's that big, right? You have to know how to fall.
Even even like a couple goofy plays J.R. Smith made, J.R. knew how to play with Bron. Yeah. And like that's why he kept getting J.R. back. Like J.R., I would say, just because like his reputation, they really, I mean, he didn't do himself a ton of favors, but they really skewered his narrative, and he was a lot better basketball player than he gets credit for. A lot better.
Yeah, no, he had super ups.
He had phenomenal hops, and you can shoot from anywhere.
So,
and his handles was crazy.
So, you gotta. There's 2 J.R. Smith dunks that stick out in my mind. One on the baseline, windmill.
That's automatic.
And then the other one because of what Marv Albert said when he did it. We just saw a man fly. The one where he jumped It two-handed it, and it ran into the defender, which pushed him up in the air farther,
Mhm.
and it literally looked
Mhm.
like he floated for like 12 feet. We just saw a man fly.
Basically like what Tom Chambers did on Mark Jackson.
Yeah, J.R. Smith has one of those. He Tom
Oh,
Chambers
yeah.
it.
Oh yeah.
And that's,
Yeah,
you know, Marv Albert said that when we just saw a man fly. I'll never forget that shit.
JR was that guy.
Speaking of New York sports, other New York football team news that is ultra relevant for a show like this one. So, Zach Wilson is rumored that he's been banging one of his mom's friends. Now,
Heard about that.
I saw pictures of his mom's friends. Good job, Zach, because she is super bad.
Is that the Mormon way, Zach?
Yeah, actually it is.
Apparently, yeah, it is.
Yeah, actually it is, right?
It is.
So, here's the funny thing. Yo,
Good on you, Zach.
you know when...
At least he could hit something because he couldn't hit receivers.
Well, you know when he walks into the locker room today, he's the motherfucking man.
Yo, what up, girl?
Everybody on the team's like, yeah, son, we got us a dog.
You well rested, bro.
Yo, son, like, you got any of them Mormon books, man? That shit look all right.
I'm not for nothing, though. The Jets had a phenomenal draft, and they're getting pieces like Carl Lawson, who was ready last year and just hurt, to now help with Quinnen Williams and that line. Oh, man. And you got Jelani Johnson, and you got Corner in the draft, Juice Gardner.
Oh, fuck, I forgot.
And Breece Hall, they're saying Breece Hall is like that dude at running back.
Yo, I forgot that the Raiders signed Chandler Jones. That's...
I was like, I knew they had gotten somebody big. I was like, they got somebody big
Yeah.
on defense, which is really going to make a difference. That's who it was.
Yeah, they're going to be a problem. So, Russell Wilson out of Seattle, but on to Denver, which all they needed was a quarterback. So, look for them to be sneaky good.
And they have a better D-line than what people realize right now.
But now it's basically rebuild in Seattle. Chris Carson retired today. He has a, neck injury. So,
like David Wilson.
Sterling Sharp type
The
shit.
Sterling Sharp one. But I think David Wilson had pretty much the same thing too.
Yeah, so neck injury cut his career after 6 seasons, but also, let's be perfectly honest, Rashard Penny took over that backfield the second half of that season and did not give it back.
Sure.
So,
And it was Rashad Penny's time. He was drafted to be the bell cow.
yeah,
That's
and he was on my fantasy team in the back half after Henry got hurt, and he got me into the playoffs. I'm not going to lie.
And
So,
also, you know what? Good for Chris Carson. Like, trust, he had a way better career than anybody imagined.
yeah, 6 seasons.
And he was like a real piece. Like, you needed him. And he got busy.
Yeah, so,
No slouch.
yeah, I'm just going to scroll. We'll just do it in the time in the order it gives me because it's going to be a long topic. Deshaun Watson offseason. Kind of eventful for the guy. Did settle a bunch of shit. The NFL arbitrator, Sue Robinson, something like that. They're pushing for a year ban, which would make sense. His team's pushed for as low as 2 games, which is retarded. Tom Brady got 4 for Deflategate.
Deflating balls.
So he's going to have to get at least a half a season. 8.
Well, the thing is that the union is saying he wasn't convicted of anything. So what are you punishing him for?
Well, Robert Kraft also had to not go to Patriots games for like 4 games or something. And he basically did the same thing. Conduct detrimental to the team and to the league. And it's a 230. Well, this is after he did all that. So, the court of public opinion will absolutely destroy the Browns if he doesn't get suspended.
I know.
They're already killing him for giving him $230 million fully guaranteed. knowing that this was the scenario. Now, they're also saying that they gave him an extra $100 million so he could pay off all these fucking cases and get back on the field.
Sure. Also, though, I mean, you know what? Like, to be honest, though, fuck the court of public opinion, and I'll tell you why. Because Mike Vick did his time, right?
They still hate on him.
And then when he came out, they still hated on him and put up poster boards like dog killer, all that, while he was helping with the ACPA, whatever, ASCA, you know what I'm saying? He was helping with them. He was educating himself. He's from a place that's just what happened, and he never knew that. You know what I'm saying? It was like that was just commonplace. So he changed. He ain't like that no more. But they still got in his ass, and the only reason why it kind of died down a bit is because when he got back there, it was a video game for Philly.
Yeah,
and then he got hurt, and then they were like, oh, well, I mean, if you can't still win games for us. If Desean goes out there and the Browns are just straight killing it.
Oh, I know.
Also, have we heard anything about Kareem Hunt? And we saw what he did to that girl. And then even after that, while he was on probation, he got caught smoking and driving.
Well,
and the cop let him.
Or the flip side of that, Ray Rice got blackballed from the league and never even got a shot.
I know, never. Yep, and he married her.
Yeah, she married him to prove a point. Literally, like,
right.
Nah, like, you know, it happens. Blah blah blah. I love him. All that, and that still didn't work.
And they're still together.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, I know. So, also, like, who else? Oh no, that's basketball. That was Miles Bridges.
I mean, I want to see Deshaun Watson play football. He's one of the top 10 quarterbacks of the league. He's really fucking good. I just know that the way the NFL is, it's worth so much money. He's definitely getting suspended for something.
Well, also, look who they have helming the arbitration, which they needed to. It had to be a woman.
Yeah.
Helming that. It had to be. It would have been terrible if it was not a woman. So I mean, yeah.
And you know that the other owners are talking to Roger Goodell and being like, listen, man, they fucked up the entire quarterback market with this fucking contract that they threw with this guy out of nowhere. Nobody was getting fully guaranteed $230 million. Nobody. And now you set the bar so high for everyone else, and this motherfucker might not even play. Like, nah, you can't have him on the field for week 1. They can't get away with this shit. Jerry Jones got to be pissed about this shit.
Oh, of course. But also, though, because he's never really fucked with Dak, and he didn't want to pay Dak, and then he reluctantly had to pay him. He has to understand now he got a discount.
I was just about to say, he better be thankful. He's cheap now.
He better be lucky he paid his ass right now, because he got a discount.
Well, that's what I said.
He'd be running out there with Ben Narducci or Fazzucci or whatever the fuck that guy's name was.
That's what I said the other day, that the Chargers are basically just going to have to give ownership to Justin Herbert.
Basically.
When his deal comes up.
Hey, same with Joey Boyband.
They're just
everybody.
So yeah, okay, so I want to talk to you. This is good that you reminded me of this. So watching the Pat McAfee show, I learned a lot about how these NFL contracts actually work, and the salary cap isn't actually a thing. It's not like the NBA where there's penalties if you go over and shit like that, and luxury taxes and all that shit. It's just a kind of a guide. So the Browns give Deshaun Watson $230 million guaranteed. The reason they're able to do that is because Jimmy Haslam takes $230 million and puts it in escrow. So you can't even write a contract like that if you don't have the money to pay. So like you look at like the Raiders, who aren't billionaire ownership, they're not going to be able to do a deal like that guaranteed because they don't have the money or the assets.
It's like that.
So that's cash over cap is what they call it. So that doesn't actually, that's not the cap hit actually.
So that's not the cap hit. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's the money. Yeah.
That's cash over cap. So it's like, it's kind of how the Yankees operate, where they just spend more money than everybody. So you're looking at owners, the few who can really, really spend money are going to be the ones that accept the Rams. And look how much money they threw at Matthew Stafford just to get him there, and then the fine that they paid for leaving St. Louis was in the billions. He was just like, yeah, whatever, here, take that. The guy owns the Rams. He owns a hockey team. He owns a soccer team.
Oh yeah, they own the hockey team. They won hockey.
Yeah, they won.
And then they won something else.
Yeah, they won
maybe.
the soccer. His
Yeah.
soccer team won. Like, this
Yeah.
guy's just on a
Hockey
win
team
streak,
won.
right?
Yeah.
So they can do that.
Crushed 2022.
Yeah, they can do that. Other owners can't do this shit. So Green Bay's, they can't. Now you kind of understand why they're always struggling to pay Aaron Rodgers what he's actually worth and whatnot, because they can't. They actually don't even have an owner who could put $250 million into escrow.
Hell no.
So it's really interesting how that works, because then it's just like, oh, so Jerry Jones, Robert Kraft, the Rams guy. Then why do the Jags suck so much? That guy's got unlimited funds.
Straight up.
Oh, and the Panthers owner, who's actually the richest owner in football. I didn't even know that shit. Yeah, he's got more money than everybody.
What'd he do?
I can't. He might own Home Depot or something, something like that. Well, now one of the Waltons is buying. What team are they buying? The team the Broncos. So
They're getting the Broncos.
yeah, the Waltons bought the Broncos.
Makes sense.
Dude, they have unlimited money.
Listen, and those brothers, let me tell you something. They created a bike path that is considered second in the world. Like, they had like a huge bike race just last year. I mean, actually earlier this year. Because they love to bike. And they're like, you know what? We want to be able to do it in our own backyard. And we can. Like, the daughter brought a whole museum. It's called Crystal Bridges. And they dropped like a $2 billion endowment. So it's forever free for anyone. You just go in there, it's free. Now, you got to pay for special installations, but it's forever. You never have to pay. I never had it like that.
So the Commanders, with their ownership issues with Snyder possibly going to be forced out, you're looking at Jeff Bezos wanting to get into the NFL. Dude, this is what the ultra.
You can't go from Daniel Snyder to Bezos.
They will.
And expect there to be some bullshit to go down on a yacht with some more shorties. Stop.
100% it's going to happen.
Stop it.
It's going to happen.
That guy is a walk dildo. Stop. Enough. Don't even do that. No.
Well,
let Diddy get a team.
So,
Fine.
Kerry, you got to look at it. You got so in the Broncos scenario, they didn't even go. It was only like it was under $4 billion that they sold for, which is kind of like under what people thought. They thought it was going to be like $6 to $8 billion, because teams are outrageously overvalued right now.
Yeah, but the Broncos, though.
So you had investment groups run and fronted with Peyton fucking Manning and people like that, and his dad and Eli. The Mannings trying to get together and buy a team.
Yeah.
And money talks, man. One of the Waltons said, I'll write you a check right now. How much you need? What, $4 billion here? Yeah, get him that.
That's it. I mean, easy. Yeah, they can't rock with that.
So Denver had a chance to have the Mannings own and be like the front of their team,
And now, I mean,
and they just went with the fucking Waltons,
we're
who have
talking
no
about
football
serious
history.
Football minds.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If you could get Peyton's big ass brain in there, yeah, I would have loved to see that happen.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
I
So
don't want to just do it just to be like, oh, there, hey, now we got a team.
no, see,
Which a
this
lot
is
of these motherfuckers.
this is what I'm trying to say. This is what the NFL has become. For the ultra mega rich, owning a team is like the ultimate flex. That's like
That's it. Like owning the super yachts. Oh, you got a soccer team? Watch this. Oh, watch this. They're going usher on them. Watch this.
yo, I'm about to buy me a football team, bruh.
Yeah, I mean,
Cool, $5 billion real quick.
oh.
That's crazy. So then you look at the Chargers, who are basically up for sale because the Spanoses have ran them into the ground. So it's just like, you didn't really run them into the ground because you could sell them for $5 billion.
Yes.
It's nuts. Like, what, Jerry Jones bought the Cowboys, what was like $10 million or something? It was something so...
Well, yeah, they were also trash.
Robert Kraft bought the Patriots for like $250 and a box of envelopes or something.
And the best athlete he knew at the time was Martina Navratilova.
Yeah. And now the Patriots are easily in the $5 billion range. The Cowboys, a $10 billion organization. They're not worth that much, but he would be able to sell them for that much because it's Jerry Jones.
Sure. I mean, they have a history of winning.
And then, don't think that these Saudis won't be like, yo, let's buy an NFL team. Let's get our fingers in that.
The only thing with that is, I know they had given Khan Shad some problems because he wasn't really from here. So you're gonna let Saudis take over an American football team?
Money.
I mean, money does talk. You're right.
They have a literal unlimited amount. They could walk up with $10 billion in cash and be like, here, we want this team. Thanks. We're not even going to run it. You guys, we're going to hire people to run it. We just want to own it. This is
I wonder, what team?
It'd be hilarious if they buy the Commanders.
That would be fun. Right in the capital. Oh, I don't know about that. That's crazy. Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy.
So, speaking of Live, which I'm going to this weekend, I'm super fucking hyped. It's in New Jersey.
Oh, where?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, super hyped.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's all out here mostly. Wow.
It's in Bedminster, so that's where Chanel actually was from. So I've been to that town many, many times, people. I know exactly where that golf course is at.
Caked up.
Oh, it's a Trump course. So,
Gotcha.
so they got Kevin Faraday, which if you don't watch golf, you don't know who this guy is. He's like,
Heard the name.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't even watch golf and you heard his name. He's like the golf commentator. He's like their Marv Albert. Yeah,
that's why.
Liv signed him, and then Liv pulled up the Brinks, Chuck, for Charles Barkley and said, yo, we'll give you $50 million a year to come be a commentator for Liv. Chuck's about to be like, yo, I'm out.
And he's already leaving inside the NBA.
In 2 years, so he's just going to leave.
Yo, that's crazy.
Yeah, dude, they're getting everybody. They just offered Hideki Matsuyama $400 million to come to Live.
And see, so with commentators, I'm weird with commentators because I'm a commentator fan. I don't think that's weird. People have their commentators. He's also cool. Jim Nantz also does a lot of golf. So, if he's calling, a match, I'll listen in. He's got that smooth, you know what I'm saying? Got that smooth tone. I listen to Jim Nantz.
Yeah, nah, Liv isn't for Jim Nantz. Liv is too fast and it's perfect for Chuck.
Jim he's a PGA guy all the way. I saw one guy roll back his Liv status, and he was like, I kind of want to still do the Ryder Cup. So,
yeah, there's still a big pissing match between them, but dude, I don't care. If I play professional golf and somebody says, I will give you $200 million to come play golf for the next 4 years, you only have to play 8 events a year. Yeah, I'm in. I'm all in. I'm all in. Unless I'm Tiger Woods or I'm somebody who is literally attempting to be considered the greatest of all time, or I'm so ingrained with the PGA that I can't ever, Rory, he can never leave the PGA.
Right. I mean, Tiger either, really. Come on.
They offered Tiger,
Phil?
dude. They offered Tiger $800 million.
And he's like, damn, if I wasn't already a billionaire, that would mean something.
Nah, so I already know what happened. All that money that the PGA said they ain't have. Because
they coming up with it all the time.
so Kerry, as soon as Liv did their first event, all of a sudden, immediately afterwards, the PGA announced 6 new events with purses of $20 million each.
See that? Look at that. Where
See?
does money come from?
So
Where does money come from?
you and I both know that when Liv said, "Yo, Tiger, we'll give you $800 million," that the PGA pulled Tiger aside and said, "We'll give you ownership of the entire PGA and $1 billion to stay." It's Tiger. You lose him. If Tiger would have went to Liv, PGA's over.
PJ's done. I mean, who we watching at this point? Rory?
Dude, I don't.
I mean,
all the
Bryson left.
all the
You know what I mean?
golfers that I'd like to actually watch play golf all play at Liv now.
Boogie, they bounced. Yeah. They
Yep.
bounced.
Yo, that's why I'm hyped, dude. So yeah, this weekend I'm gonna go watch Phil play on the first day. I'm just gonna follow him around. It's fucking Phil Mickelson, dude. I have to follow this guy around.
Okay.
And
I've never been to a going hole to hole for a. Nah, I never did that.
I mean, I've never been to like a professional one where like at this level. Like my pro friends, I've caddied for them before, and like on the lower shit. But and
Okay.
then I've been to golf matches watching Colton play and shit. But like not at this level.
Yeah.
This is like it's fucking Phil Mickelson, dude.
like you and he's probably gonna have the thickest gallery.
Yeah, it's gonna be dope, man. And you know, it's Live, so it's like, dude, they talk to the crowd and shit. Like they already got $200 million to play. It's an event. It's not so much a tournament.
Yeah.
And the hilarious part is they have a concert after every round of golf on the golf course. Set up a stage, bring in artists, have shows, drinks, food.
See, I will say
They're doing it right, man.
they know how to do it. Like on that end, they be jacked up on some other ends. Let's make that clear. But like on the party end, they know what they're doing.
Well, so they're making golf more accessible to people who don't watch golf. It's like, oh shit, you got a concert and you can drink, and I guarantee you can smoke weed on the course.
It's
They're not
all
gonna give a fuck.
stuffy, and like I can actually get inside. I'm allowed.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't know if you saw that their plane, the Live Jet, that they
No.
fly their players on.
Nah.
Yo, Kerry, I swear to God, it looked like the Bellagio. I thought they were in a fucking hotel. It was the jet. There was crown molding. It literally looked like they were in a casino. And they were like, no, this is the jet that they fly all the players to each of the events. So, Cam Smith wins the Open. 150th Open, the home of where golf was started, St. Andrews. This is a very big fucking deal. This guy wins a monumental, historic 150th at the home of golf. That's why Tiger Woods played, because it was the 150th at St. Andrews. It's the only reason he forced himself out there.
That makes sense. I mean, he was looking kind of rough.
Well, now you know why. He was like, no, it's the 150 at. He said the next time that the Open is at St. Andrews, he's going to be too old. He won't even be playing anymore.
Yeah.
He's like, this was the last chance. So.
But he played there before.
Yeah, I know, but this was 150. It was like,
150, no,
it's a
it's
big
like-
fucking deal. So Cam Smith wins the 150th Open, has to fly coach home. Oh, so Zoom is updated.
Yeah. Zoom is tripping like this now, even one-on-ones.
They need to get that bread.
Yeah.
Yo, the recession has hit Zoom. That's hilarious.
Yeah, yo, even on these one-on-ones. I had peeped that before. I was like, nah, I wasn't because I called it.
So, there's footage of Cam Smith with the cleric jug trying to fucking jam that shit into the overhead fucking compartment on the fucking coach. And then immediately afterwards, they showed the Live players who were in like 8th, 10th place fucking partying on this casino jet, having the time of their life.
I know. He was probably like, fuck this trophy. Yo, but also though, I mean,
PGA, you gotta do it better, man. He just won. Send him on a fucking jet home.
He ain't broke. He's not broke.
No, I know that.
You need money to like buy in too.
Yeah, I know, but those private jets from fucking England to the United States probably going to be like $100,000 or whatever.
To fly first class?
No, get a private jet.
To get a private jet.
You know the air. You know that.
Let me say, you say he went coach. Like at least go first class.
Well, maybe that's the only thing that the airlines are fucked up right now, homie. Maybe that's the only fucking thing he can get on.
That's rough.
Wouldn't you? I would just be like, you know what? No, I'm calling Liv right now. Yo, send me a jet right now. I'm done.
Listen, I would have done the same. I'd be like, yo, let me off right now.
Yep.
I'd be like, listen, I'm ready to sign. You saw what I just did, right? I'm bring that to you. I'm gonna bring my talents over to Liv.
Well, they were already talking to him. He was already in negotiations with them before he won, and now that he won, the PGA's like, dude, you can't leave. And now Liv's just like, oh, dude,
I just can't leave. They tried to Bronx tail him.
Yeah. They're like, yo, Cam Smith, we'll give you like, well, his price had to have gone up after winning the Open. He's probably like, yo,
today's price is not today's price, baby.
Yo, I need $500 million. And they're probably like, all right, whatever.
Listen,
we got $1 trillion slush fund. Who cares? Here.
I even get nominated for something. My price goes up. That's how it works. Ain't nothing but marketing.
Yeah. My prices have been too expensive for people for a very long time.
Well.
Oh, yo, let's work, fam. All right, let's work. I don't even ask what your budget is. That's an amateur mistake. Here's how much I charge. And then that's usually the end of the conversation.
Yeah, same. I do the exact same. I'm like, here it is. I already got the contract already printed up. I'm like, here you go. What say you?
Well, you remember them early days of asking what the budget. Yo, what's your budget? So you can see what you can get out of it.
Yeah, no more.
No. This is how much I am.
Because you know people lying anyway.
Oh yeah.
This is what happens. When I stopped doing that budget nonsense, and I was just like, yo, here's what it is. I'm like, oh, okay. Because we were thinking more like that, and I'm like, oh no. You have to understand, this number was well thought out because with this number you get this, and then a fully produced book by the person you want.
Well, fortunately for us, we work in an industry where once you get paid an amount of money, that is now your going rate. That's just how it works.
I'm like, that's it. I'm like, if you can, you can. I had one guy hit me back, and he was like, you know what? Okay, I can't just yet, but I got it. I'm going to work to get it. And then I gave it to someone else. I didn't hear from them for about a month. Just got the contract yesterday. So I'm like, okay. They had to work it out. Like, I don't have to work it out. You got to work it out.
All right, so let's get back.
Work it out. Then I work.
This is a football show, after all. We should probably talk about football.
Well, yeah, but this is contract negotiation.
Well, the Liv thing is a big deal to me because I'm going to go watch it this week, and I'm super fucking hyped. Yeah.
And that's where these football players go after they're done anyway. Shit, not even after they're done.
Oh yeah, I did play golf with a professional baseball player. He coaches for the Mets.
Oh.
So once Angela gets back from wherever travels she's at right now, if you want to go to a Cyclones game, he's just like, dude, you guys could come sit in the dugout with us.
Yes.
I figured you would want to go. He was just like, yeah, we suck. He's like, nah, you could actually come sit in the dugout with us. I don't give a fuck.
Cyclones games are mad fun, son. Like that whole, because it's wild, because it's Coney Island.
Yeah.
This is wild. They be wild out there.
Well, I mean, I figure actually getting to sit, like, go in and be around the team and whatnot. That's
like, how often do you get to do that?
Yeah, that's an experience. So,
bring some sunflower seeds.
Yeah, he played for 13 years. Pretty dope. Huge, right. Big fucking dude. Hit the golf ball an absolute fucking mile. Chris Jacobs. I don't know how many stints in the pros he got, but he played professional baseball for 13 years.
Nice.
Good on
him.
Dude.
Yeah, listen. You let me know. I'm in.
That's why I say I figured you, of all people that I know, would be like, oh yeah, we can go do that, because I'll go do that. And he's just like, yeah, you can come drink all you want. I was like, nah, I don't drink, homie. Like, I'm not gonna smoke. I'm not gonna smoke blunts in the dugout, but I will bring a vape.
Because then everybody be like, yo, let me hit that. You need to hit that. You know what I'm saying? You need to get out there and hit that, my friend.
Yeah, so it'd be pretty dope. So I think he might actually be going to live too, because he was just like, yeah, fuck yeah. It's like it's in New Jersey, dude. It's like right there. It's right there. Why wouldn't you go? I think next season they'll probably have one at the Trump course that's underneath of the bridge. Ferry Point. It's when you're going up north.
Oh, yep, yeah.
It says a giant Trump. It says Trump right on the top of the building when you're going right across the bridge. So they'll probably have one there, which is like, it's like right there. It's cool. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. Yeah, let me just end this one and we'll re-up and get back to talking about football.
Yeah.
All right, wow. I might actually have to get a Zoom membership now if this is what they're going to do. That's fucking stupid. Are there better apps to do this with besides Zoom? Does anybody know? Yeah, Emmanuel, I know. I mean, we said it. This guy's not going to retire yet. He led the NFL in passing yards and touchdowns last year. You can't. And they were basically one play away from going back to the Super Bowl. So. Yeah, I remember the Skype days. That's for sure. Well, he said he knows he doesn't even have 5 years left, so honestly, if they win another Super Bowl, he will retire. So, Fox Sports gave him a $375 million deal to be an ambassador and commentator on football whenever he decides to retire. So, not only is he already Tom Brady, but he's got $375 million waiting for him the second he says, I'm done. So, if he wins another Super Bowl, the fuck else do you have to prove? I mean, that'll be like how 8, 9, 10. Like when is it enough? Yo, Tom Brady wins the Super Bowl, he's definitely retired.
I mean, at that point.
Fox has offered him $375 million to be a football ambassador when he retires. So it's just like.
I wonder if Audible would do that for me when I was. You know what I'm saying? Come on, y'all. I'm putting in that work. Just nobody ever sees it. Literally, nobody ever sees it.
Literally. So the Colts, huge upgrade. I went from Titans being division front runners, and then A.J. Brown leaves, and then the Colts go and get the one quarterback that literally fit what they needed the most.
And he has the perfect coach ranked right there for him. My only concern is how long will Darius Leonard be out?
He has changed his name.
Back surgery.
He has changed his name.
What do you mean?
Darius is his first name. He never went by that growing up. I just saw this today. During the draft process, his first name being Darius, everyone just called him Darius because that's what they saw, because he's a small college guy anyway. He wasn't like a superstar, right? And he said that he had gotten advice from Randy Moss about being a rookie to keep your mouth shut and your ears open. And he said so he never corrected anybody, but he's always hated it. His name's actually Shaquille. So he's going to be going by Shaquille Leonard from now on.
Really?
Yeah.
Where the fuck did they get Darius from?
That's his actual first name. Shaquille's his middle name. He's always gone by Shaquille. They saw Darius in the draft report and scouting reports and just said Darius Leonard, Darius Leonard, Darius Leonard. And he never corrected him because he didn't want to be his first impression on people being like, yo, that's not my name. Like, so he just never said anything.
Even though, I mean, homie, that's your name. Like, I mean, I get what Randy Moss is saying, but that's your name. Like,
I get it as a small
there was
school.
a time where I didn't correct people, but then I was like, what? No, that's my name, yo. So
Well, I
was
mean,
like, no.
let's say it's like, you know, fucking, you know, Luke Kuechly or Ray Lewis coming out of college. You're going to be like, no. This is a, you know, unnoticed, unrecruited, small town. I kind of get him being like, yo, I'm just going to keep my head down and, like, make this team and, like, prove myself.
If it was Luke Kuechly or Ray motherfucking Lewis, they would have known his first name, his last name, his middle name, all the possible names.
Exactly.
They would have already known all that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this is, you know, this is like.
They would have never had to correct them.
This is what happens.
Yeah. I got you.
So anyway,
Well, good for him.
now he'll be going as Shaquille Leonard, which is, you know, interesting. I just saw it today. I was just like, wow, that's really fucking weird. That's a freaking really weird thing because football players are such alphas and such dominant personalities. You would figure, like you said, the first time somebody says Darius Leonard, no, it's Shaquille. Not even like aggressively. No, homie, Shaquille. No big deal. No big deal.
Like, hey, actually, it's like you could be hugging Goodell, like, and actually it's Shaquille Leonard, and then like, you know, like wave, and then like get your hat, and then like, you know what I'm saying, and then because, you know, once you get drafted, you have your little interview or whatever, and then like, and then you could just address it right then real quick with the interviewer, like, actually, because it happened like this because da-da-da-da, but actually I've always gone by Shaquille.
Yeah, but you make it like a little interesting
then
thing.
It would have changed it immediately.
Yeah, you make it like a little interesting thing. Oh, yeah, you know, this actually happened, blah, blah, blah. It's cool, though, whatever. And now it's just like 6 years later, it's just like, wait a minute, what? You're like...
I'm like,
there's
there's another Shaq now?
You're one of the best linebackers in football, and you just now told everybody about this?
I know.
Do your
I know.
Do your teammates call you Darius, or do they call you Shaquille? Like, this is really interesting.
They have to know. His teammates have to know. Like, he got homies on the team.
Yeah, I know. It's really fucking weird. I just thought that was really interesting. They, like I said, they did have a wide receiver get hurt, and the Colts have no wide receiver depth. Fortunately, they do have Jonathan Taylor in the best offensive line in football, and Matt Ryan really doesn't make mistakes. He just doesn't really.
And he has hits, and he's going to love hits.
Yeah, and we all know about Matt Ryan. So Baker Mayfield battling it out with Sam I Am down in Carolina.
The I see dead people. I see ghosts.
I like Baker. I hope it works out. I really do.
I mean, at this point, don't you just give the job to Baker, right?
I think you should.
I mean, assuming he's healthy.
I mean, I think you can look at the Browns giving a serial rapist, possibly, to the biggest contract in NFL history, fully guaranteed, and be like, boy, they really are a dumpster fucking fire over there. Jesus Christ.
Listen, they smell desperate. They so desperate right now. And it got even worse when, I tell you when things got worse. It got worse for them when LeBron went back there and got that chip, right? Because that man, he got them to the chip, left, won chips, came back, finally got them one, then left again and got him another one. So Cleveland is like, okay, well, obviously the Cavs, even though the Cavs are still doing better now, they've even now had a resurgence. If the Browns, who have been there way longer than everybody else, haven't been able to get it together since Jim Brown, then
well, that's how I look at it, though.
It's extreme desperation.
Baker played at a Pro Bowl level 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Came in this season, was playing well, and then tore a labrum, and they made him play the rest of the year with one fucking arm, including games where they're down or up, close game, and they're having this guy throw it 50 fucking times a game with one arm. And it's just like you got the best running back tandem in football, and you're throwing it every down.
You remember what I said. I was like, they are setting this guy up.
They did it on purpose. This
is a setup, because there's no way you have that monster in the back. You have my guy Case Keenum on the bench. who could win you the game.
Dude, you remember
But
when
he's gonna roll out Baker, an injured Baker?
you remember when they were getting too close to in one of the last games, and they fucking put Chubb on the bench for like the last
Sure did.
and just fucking threw it with fucking a hurt Baker Mayfield the rest of the game. I'm just like, wait, they're trying to ruin his career. They hate this guy.
They hate that guy. They didn't want him. They were done.
I hope he does well. I just don't think it's going to happen in Carolina because they're not
I don't
any
think
good.
it's gonna happen in Carolina either.
Yeah. Lamar Jackson. I want to talk to you about this. This is a Gray Batter exclusive take. And because people have been talking about this. Lamar Jackson wants to be the highest paid player in NFL history, blah, blah, blah. He's one of those guys. He wants to be a billionaire. He hangs out with LeBron, all that. So they're saying, is he worth $50 million a year? Former MVP, absolutely dynamic and whatnot. Here's my take on it. No, he's not, and Baltimore knows that he's worth it if you have an entire team that is built around what he can do, which is the Baltimore Ravens. You can't take Lamar Jackson and throw him in Green Bay's offense and have him be MVP Lamar Jackson.
So what you just told me was that the Ravens need to pay him $50 million. That's what you just told me.
But this is the NFL. You know they're not going to. They're going to be like, you're not going to get this anywhere else. We'll give you this. This is the most you're going to get from anybody because
Which is why they're still playing this game.
Exactly. You need they literally changed their entire team and philosophy around Lamar Jackson.
Well, I mean, you also see that when he's out, they can't win without him.
No, they suck because you have
they lost, and even like look at how many injuries they had, and he was the only reason why they were winning games.
Well, I
practically beat the Chiefs by himself.
See, this is the other thing. I also look at if you take any other quarterback that doesn't have that skill set and throw it into Baltimore, they're going to struggle because that team is literally built around that type of skill set.
Yeah.
So it's just like, yes, they need to pay him that much, but they're not. It's the owners are cheap. They're going to lowball him because they know for another team to get Lamar Jackson, they have to restructure everything. You can't have him run like the Chargers offense. That's not his strengths. I'm not saying he can't do it, but like, why wouldn't you play to his strengths?
He's not practicing to do that now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you're going to want to play to his strengths.
Sure.
You know, if you go and somehow get, Steph Curry to sign to your team, you're not going to like put him on the post, put him down low. Be like, yo, Steph, we need you on them blocks.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you're going to cater to his strengths because he's the best player on your team, and that's what Lamar Jackson is. Now, that one backup that they had last year did play pretty well.
I forget his name. He was kind of like Lamar Jackson light.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You have to have that type of quarterback to work in this because it's so Lamar Jackson centric, which most offenses are. But in the likely event that your quarterback might miss some snaps, your backup has to be able to run the offense and whatnot. It's not like Case Keenum's not going to be able to sign to Baltimore.
No.
Chase Daniels is not going to get a Baltimore deal.
He will get another Lions deal, though.
Yes, he will. He's not going to Baltimore.
Or New Orleans or any of the 15 to 18 teams he's played for.
Which is why RG3 was able to have a couple years as a backup added to the end of his career because he fit that specific skill set. So it's like it's so...
And he had a couple good games when he was out there.
Exactly. So it's just like, you have to kind of get that guy. So... yeah, they need to pay him that much because that's what starting quarterbacks who are MVP caliber command. But they're trying to lowball him because if no other team is going to give him that much because they'd have to be like Detroit or somebody who's just going to rebuild around him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not going to want to go do that.
He ain't going to want to go to no damn Detroit.
You know, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a really interesting situation he's in right now, but they're going to pay him.
Yeah.
Dude, the NFL is making so much money, and Amazon's about to jump in, and YouTube,
which is crazy.
NFL, you can get NFL ticket for like $4 a month or something. Dude, they're gonna have
listen.
They're gonna have games on YouTube. They said.
You're gonna have to be searching for games. Like, okay, wait, who's playing on what now? NFL Network, Amazon. Now you're saying YouTube. I feel like there's another. You already got ABC, well, NBC, Fox, and CBS. I mean, how many more places we gonna be looking for damn games?
All of them. Apple TV's getting into the game.
Damn. So what night they gonna have?
Who got Thursday?
NFL. Yeah, NFL Network.
And then Monday Night Football
is ESPN.
And then
you got Fox, NBC Sunday night, and CBS the other game. So
I mean, they'll just have like, I mean, it's the streaming wars, dude. It's like they'll just have whoever can get the best games.
Well, then you also got what's that channel? The Red Zone, which kind of shows you like
what if teams do what Notre Dame did and sign an exclusive deal with NBC
with the network?
Yeah, where like the Cowboys only are on NBC, which they basically are anyway.
Basically. Well, Cowboys is always on Fox.
Well, whichever one it is. I'm just saying
that would be ill.
What if a team signed an exclusive deal to only have their games on one platform? Or what if they just had their own platform?
Yankees do it.
Yeah. Why not?
MSG, the MSG network was finna fold until they got Jeremy Lin. They were being slick, like, oh, you're not gonna show MSG games? You gotta go out now. Then when Lin Sanity hit, they like, yo, you better have these games on MSG or I'm canceling everything. And then they got back to it. So,
I mean, honestly, it's just too easy to stream any game, like literally any of them.
Well, especially if you have like a lot of these people who go a la carte with their channels, you know what I'm saying? And so a lot of people don't even have cable anymore. They just stream. So,
well, I'm talking about like the way I do it. I'm not even.
Yeah.
I don't pay for any of it.
Right.
I find it every single game that I want. All of them. It's always been like that. Because being a Patriots fan in Queens for 10 years, you're not going to get to watch a lot of Patriots games, dude. It's just not going to happen. They actually would they would black those games out on TV. Like
there's a Patriots bar though, I know, in the city.
Yeah, so I used to, I got on the internet sports streaming shit fucking decades ago. So it's like, why would you ever pay for it? It's all free.
You've been there with me before.
Yes.
You know the spot I'm talking about. They're a straight up Patriots bar now. So I think you'd find it interesting.
Smart. Speaking of the Pats, no coordinators named, defensive or offensive. It's just Bill's team.
This is the hoodie doing hoodie things.
So he has heaped unusual praise upon Mac Jones's progression in the offseason and how he came into camp. He's jacked, dude. He put on like 10 pounds. He's jacked.
Oh, I've seen him.
He doesn't.
Oh no, he's serious about that.
Yeah.
Trust me, he's serious about that.
What an embarrassment of luck to have the Tom Brady era end and then only have the Cam Newton experience for 1 year and then have Mac Jones fall to you, which is literally the perfect quarterback for that situation. It was like the stars really aligned. And now,
because he could have been with the Jets.
Yes, he could have been with a lot of teams, but it was just... And, we were texting. We knew what was going to happen. As soon as he wasn't 1 or 3, it was just like, oh, he's going to the Pats.
Going to the Pats.
It's going to fucking happen.
Yep.
They're not even going to have to move, and he's going to fall to the Pats.
How it happens.
And, it's like when the Colts, Peyton Manning gets hurt, they suck for a year, then they draft Andrew Luck, and then they're set for the next decade.
Or you can know that your current quarterback sucks and have Justin Herbert right there, decide to give him to Chicago, but you're still in place to get Micah Parsons, which, what did I say? I was like, well, then get Micah Parsons then. But no, you let him go in division. You let Devontae get Smith get taken by the Eagles, and then you let the damn Dallas team scoop Parsons. Disgraceful. Hopefully Dayball and Shane know what they're doing, and yeah, they can turn this thing around.
Yeah, missing on Herbert and Micah Parsons were two very, very big misses, dude.
Oh my God, sick.
Because it's not like, it's not like, Tom Brady went 6th round late where everyone skipped him multiple times.
Sure.
Those guys are on your draft board. You're looking at them like, hey, we should probably draft this guy.
You've known about them.
And then
you love them.
And then the opportunity kind of presents itself, and you're like, meh.
Now we're gonna do something else.
We're gonna do something else.
What are you talking about?
Oh, speaking of that, so I just heard a story. Sam Bowie did an interview where he talked about because he had bad knees, even in college, and when he said that the Trailblazers doctors and team and ownership and whatnot was interviewing him during the scouting process and whatnot, he lied to him every time, just so he could get drafted early. Get as much money as possible because his knees was fucked. So those lies about his knees laid the foundation for Mike going to Chicago and altering the sports landscape forever. One lie about a man's knees changed sports forever. Talk about a butterfly effect.
Seriously.
Holy shit.
I mean, Portland would have been a destination like that?
Whole world changes, dude.
Wow. Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe he just turns into leads the league in scoring every year, and he never wins 6 chips because he doesn't get with Phil Jackson and whatnot.
Because it'd have been him and Clyde Drexler, who was already on the team, Terry Porter. I mean, but also think about this. Think about the landscape of the NBA if the Pistons, which they should have done, draft Melo instead of Darko Milicic.
True. So
now we're talking about the Pistons possibly winning 2 or 3 chips.
Well, also even during Mike's time, you're seeing Mike be in the Western Conference and not have to go against the Pistons going into the Eastern Conference Finals every fucking year until he figured it out.
Yeah, he had to go against the Pistons. He had to go against Boston.
Yeah.
He had to go against Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Had to go against the Knicks. I mean, everybody was bruising back then.
And then, later on, he said that the hardest series he ever had was against the Pacers.
Oh, yeah, the Pacers got hard. So, see, the Pacers got tired of getting whooped up on by all those other teams I just named, and they were like, nah, check this out. When they got them Davis boys.
I was just about to say, they contracted the Davis brothers security department.
Right. So if you didn't have an Oakley and a Mason, you were probably going to be in trouble.
And they had Rick Spitz, who was 7'4".
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they even had a guy who didn't really live up to his full potential, but could be sneaky good, and Derek McKee.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, they also had fucking scrappy guys.
Yeah.
Fucking Haywood Workman, who then goes on to become a referee. You know what I mean?
Richard Jefferson getting a little stint as a referee.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah. I think more ex-players should go be refs.
I was going to say that. I appreciate that because he's now on TV talking about it. He's checking all the boxes. He's really involved. I can actually see him eventually going up into the offices and being an executive.
I think this should also spur more players going in and being refs.
Sure.
Why not? You guys, know it better than anyone. You played it.
Yeah. You
got to look at all these referees never played NBA level basketball. They're just around it.
Yeah.
They're always little short guys.
Yeah.
They just they get out of the way and they can move up and down the court. You never see someone a ref that's 6'7".
No.
Played 9 years in the league.
Yeah. So, Yeah, and someone gonna run up to him like, yo, yo, yo. They gonna be like, I'm saying, you ain't see that? You didn't?
Yo, imagine somebody like running up to Alonzo Mourning as a referee
Right.
and trying to
Come on
bitch
now.
about a foul or a missed call. What?
Yeah, he gonna be like, man, forget it. Just forget it.
That's cool though. I think more players should do that.
I agree.
More players should do that. They just need to, I don't understand why referees at that level aren't paid enough to where people would want to do that at a high level. The NFL blows my mind that these referees have day jobs still.
Part-time. They won't give them full-time
That-
status.
How you make
My
more
man Guns was a damn judge.
you make more
In
money
hockey?
than anybody and you're not paying the refs? Come on, son.
All right. When The Rock started giving these XFL refs full-time jobs.
When Liv starts the NFL league, it's
You know what I'm
over.
saying?
They give Ed Hockley $300 million to come flex his
You don't think The
muscles.
Rock know a couple Saudis who got that oil money? Shit.
So the playoff format has changed so that we don't get a Bills-Chiefs scenario again.
Well, thank goodness for that, because that should have been the AFC Championship game. Probably one of the best games I've ever seen.
We've seen that 2 years in a row now.
Yeah.
Tom Brady basically did it to Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
And then this just happened again, and it's just like
And then we see Tampa and LA
same thing. It's just like,
earlier than we should have.
yeah, it's just like, this should be like this. You can't just let them play. It's the playoffs. Let them play. Even hockey.
I'll be told, I would have rather have seen San Francisco versus Tampa Bay. Little Garoppolo versus TB12.
So, like, in hockey in the playoffs, they don't go into shootouts in the playoffs. They just keep playing.
Right.
You know, it should be that way in football, too.
Yeah.
I played a game at high school that ended up in a tie. And we had no idea after the third overtime that the game was over. So we were hyped.
That.
And it was just like,
Yeah.
And they're like, nah, game's tied. I'm like, wait a minute, you can tie? What the fuck?
Yeah, I feel like who else didn't know that? Like, I didn't know we could tie. Like, I think Donovan McNabb. Like, he was like, this is a tie?
Yeah, I remember
What do
that.
you
He was
mean?
just like, wait a minute, you can tie in football? And it was just like, yeah, overtime if you don't score, it's like a tie. And it's just like, what?
Happened to Gus Farrat, and then he destroyed his neck, headbutting the damn concrete wall. Idiot.
It happens in high school football. That tie is very huge in playoff implications.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, really
Determines
big.
if you in or not.
Yeah. It changed. We went from the left side of the bracket to the right side. If we would have been on the left side, the team that we blew out by 36 points in the regular season actually went to the
On that
fucking
side.
championship game on that side. And it was just like, we saw it happen.
The
And,
whole trajectory. I know.
yep. One fucking missed extra point, and there we are. So, Trey Lance, we will see what this guy's got.
Finally. See him.
We shall see.
Right.
I mean, honestly, dude, Jimmy Garoppolo did the least out of quarterbacks who win games that they start. He did the least on the field. So, like,
Yeah.
and he's always hurt.
Yeah, because fucking Debo was doing everything.
Dude, like, you know, bubble screens and shit like that. That's not passing yards. I don't care.
I know they do. Those are cheap passing yards.
You know, so he doesn't. And then Kittle hit and then run. Like, come on. He's not really stretching the field. Defenses don't fear Jimmy Garoppolo
Dude.
at all.
When he needed to hit it deep, they lost the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And they lost to Green Bay. And hit it deep.
I mean, you're talking to a Patriots.
He had that deep stroke.
Dude, you're talking to a Patriots fan who, for 4 years, sat there and listened to people talk about, oh, it's Jimmy's team now, it's Jimmy's team now, it's Jimmy's team. I'm just like, yeah, I mean, when he does play, like when Tom got suspended or got hurt or missed a game or whatever, yeah, he plays well, but, like, there's a marked drop-off. It's not like it's fucking Tom Brady, people. Like, what are you talking about? And then, honestly,
In the game, like, you see what happens when he's in the 2 minute. He's going to turn it over.
Kerry, when he was the starter, like Tom Brady, 4-game suspension, we knew he was going to be the starter for at least 4 games. He got hurt. And Jacoby
And then Brisket
Brisket started for 2 games instead. So it's just like, it's Jimmy.
I'm a win.
Jimmy can go be. He should embrace the backup lifestyle and have 10 more years of doing this.
And not get beat up. He's a good look young dude. You know what I'm saying? He could just Kool-Aid on the sidelines and just like do his commercials on the sidelines head off. So all the shorties see him. He's doing commercials.
I mean,
like,
look at that guy. Like, he looks like he plays a quarterback in a movie about football.
this is what I'm talking about. He's like, just strip all the talent away from Joe Namath. Bam, you got Jimmy G. He should be doing fucking mink coat commercials.
Dude, if he could actually act, it's out of here. Like, just go be in every football movie ever. You can actually throw. We don't have to watch some actor with the worst throwing mechanics ever try to act like he's actually throwing the football.
Oh, you mean Keanu Reeves and the Replacements? Even though I heard he got pretty decent.
All of them. They all suck. All of them. It all looks horrible. Every single one of them except Uncle Rico. And what? I bet you I could throw this football over that mountain.
Go to the mountain. He throw it over that damn mountain. Yeah, I seen him. I seen him.
Yo, so DeAndre Hopkins suspended for the start of the season.
Now, he weighs $155 soaking wet. What does he take?
Nothing.
Was he just trying to recover?
Nah, it wasn't even that. It was one of those things that he didn't even know was on the list, and like his trainers didn't even know, and it's just like
that bothers me. That bothers me that the NFL is so strict like that. Like then you have to say if you tell me there's certain things I can't take, then you have to give me a list of all these shits that contains that one thing, because I'm just not gonna be looking like that. Come on.
Yeah, it's like you go to GNC and you get like something like a protein bar or something, and that happens to have one thing in there that's on the ban list or something. You're like, wait, I didn't even know.
You go to fucking any of these juice stores, like, hey, I'm trying to be healthy. Like, oh yeah, add that. That's what should be
That
fine.
powder gets you banned all of a sudden.
Come on.
That's
whack. That's whack. I don't like it.
Calvin Ridley done for the year for gambling issues. We know that already. Hey, he put together a mean 10-leg parlay that did not hit, so that was an expensive loss.
I mean, also he just like had to leave because of mental health. I don't know, brother. Like, I don't know, Ridley. I would rather see his younger brother play. His younger brother could go. He just hasn't really. Maybe he'll get a shot this year with Chicago. I don't know. We'll see.
Hey, look for.
I am interested to see what Kyle Pitts will do, but
speaking of
Marcus
Chicago,
Mariota,
I am.
Marcus
I'm interested to see what Mooney does this season for Chicago.
Oh, Mooney. I'm definitely interested to see what Mooney does.
That is
He's my low-key dark horse receiver.
That's a fantasy pickup right there that will be available.
I mean, listen, if they don't figure out what to do with Justin Fields this year, everybody fired.
Alvin Kamara was arrested and charged with battery in a casino.
That's who I was thinking of. I was like, I knew there was a battery case.
So he's probably going to miss some time.
Yeah, but that one it wasn't a woman, it was like a dude, and it was like this public shit, and it could have been like borderline self-defense or something like that. It could be some wiggle room where...
Of course, he's still going to miss some time probably. Even if it's like 2 games. It's 17 games now, like...
Who do the Saints have running? Mark Ingram's still there.
Yeah, nah, he's back there.
Is he? And they re-signed him again?
I imagine so. Who else are there? They let Latavius Murray go.
But I mean, who else they got?
I don't know. They're going to suck anyway.
Maybe they got a young guy. I mean, here's the thing. I want Jameis to succeed, so I need him to have all weapons. Oh, yeah, we haven't even talked about this.
Michael Thomas will be back.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, but Jameis is like down the ball, or down the field. Michael Thomas is 5 yards and slant.
Yeah, but with playing with the Saints and under Drew Brees and Sean Payton, trust me, he will be going underneath a lot more this year.
No, I want him to succeed. I like Jameis on the field.
Yeah.
I think it's hilarious that he led the NFL in passing touchdowns and was blind. Are you kidding me? He didn't even wear contacts. He was out there
Yeah,
with blurry
he was
vision.
all the time. He was doing that when he was a freshman at Florida State and won the damn national championship
And a Heisman.
and the Heisman.
I
Come
see.
on, man.
Eh,
And he won the QB. What's that? QB 11 competition.
Yeah, it's just like Jameis. What happens when you see when you're out there? Well, I see 3 of them. I just throw it to the middle one. Like literally blurry vision, incredible. I did not know this fact. Condoleezza Rice is part owner of the Broncos. She bought an undisclosed percentage of the franchise from the Waltons. Because she was in the ownership group with Peyton Manning and whatnot, trying to be part of that. And the Waltons, of all people, have Condoleezza Rice as co-owners. Interesting. I had no idea, dude. She's been trying to get in the game for a long time.
Well, I mean, she was on the selection committee for the NCAA for years now.
They also, her name is constantly floated to replace Roger Goodell as NFL commissioner. I've been saying that.
He's in the game.
Yeah, no, I've been saying that for years when they said Roger's going to retire soon. I'm like, Condoleezza Rice should do it. She did the selection committee for basketball and football. She's like big into sports.
Commissioner.
She's big time into sports, especially football. She's been she's been part of ownership proposal groups for a very long time.
That would be very interesting to see.
So this is what I'm saying. This is what's so interesting about the Waltons getting that, and now knowing that she is part of that because she was part of the Manning ownership group that was pitching. So you have the Mannings and fucking Condoleezza Rice and people like that trying to buy it, and you sell to the Waltons. That's why I was just like, well, that was fucking interesting.
Yeah.
They sold for $3 billion. I wonder what else that's not reported on paper that also happened.
They're like, hey, you know we own Walmart, right?
All right, so do you want to own 10,000 Walmarts in India? Because you can have them all. Like, who knows what the fuck happened? Who knows? But I did not know this thing about Condoleezza Rice. This is very interesting.
It is.
Very interesting. Good for her. Good for her because she's been like heavy into high level football and sports for a very long time. Basically, since she left politics, she's been college sports and now this. This is big. This is big. Interesting.
Fuck with it.
Huge connections in the big world that she has and now that team has. So interesting things going on
Same place too, Denver.
yeah, I know, with that airport, right?
Things going on over there.
What are you doing, Russ? What are you doing, Russ? I know that all that seems too good to be true, Russ. You're too good to be true.
Yo, he packed on some muscle, some weight. Like he looking good now.
Hamlin is on the PUP list. Yeah. So
I see like a lot of guys have been on this PUP list. I mean, Jalen Ramsey's on it, but I mean, they'll take him off.
Yeah, but I already saw that Hamlin was going to miss the first couple weeks of the season already, like guaranteed. So it's just like, damn.
And he's been injury prone.
Yeah, but Kerry, this.
I'm interested to see what Jerry Jeudy is going to do.
So we talked about this during the Roni football season, right? Now, if you guys notice, what was happening in the Roni season was the first couple weeks of the season, there were so many injuries because they didn't have a training camp. And usually all those injuries happen the first week of training camp. It's like clockwork. Everybody who gets hurt early, it's always in the first week. It happened in high school, in college. It's just like the
Your body's just not ready yet. It's not.
Yeah, you're not ready to go from what you thought was workout to what they're going to make you do. And there's so much competitive energy and whatnot.
And you have to condition your body to get these hits. Like, to give the hits. To take the hits.
Well, when I hit college, how I kept getting hurt was there was just too much torque on my ligaments.
Yeah.
I was too big and too fast for my size, and it just became too much. And it was always early within the first 2 weeks of the season because you go from workout to going 100 miles an hour.
You were Danny Amendola. Shout out to him. He just retired.
Yeah, he just retired also. 11 years, 2 rings.
Yeah.
Good for him. Big game Danny.
You didn't know. You thought this guy's going to flame out. Like, he was doing work in Detroit. Like, it's like, man, if this guy could just get on a good team, and then he was with the Rams. I'm like, Then he finally got with the Patriots, and I'm like, well, if he can stay healthy, he might do it. And for the most part, he did.
He played the Bob Orry role for a couple Super Bowl runs because it was big game, third down and touchdown, and then 2-point conversion against the Falcons on their comeback. So
Always remember when him and Edelman did that trick play and Edelman threw it to him. That was dope. Like, yeah, he has some moments. Like I like to see the little scrappy dudes who really bust their ass.
So as a
Really
Pats fan,
game.
whenever they signed Amendola for the Rams, it was just like, okay, that we just got another one, even though we already had Edelman had already been worked from punt returner into a viable offensive weapon, right? So it was just like, how in the world, now we got two of them, but both of them aren't that fast. So it's like, because Wes Welker we just let him go, right? He just went to Denver, so it was just like, we knew they were going to replace him, but now we got two of them. How the fuck is this going to work? And they made it work.
They did.
They made it
Also,
work. And then they added a third one with
Edelman worked himself to a Pro Bowl player. I mean,
well, then they added
he was just not going to stop.
they added Chris Hogan, and then they just had three slow white guys running around winning a Super Bowl.
Well, Chris Hogan got some speed on him.
A little bit, but like, come on, man, that was
He had a little speed on him.
Yeah.
And then he went to go play professional lacrosse.
yeah. Because every other team was just like, no, we don't want you. Oh, that was just he was a Patriots receiver.
Hey, but you know what? He got into the league. I mean, whatever.
Yeah, he didn't even really play college football. Amazing. All right, Zoom. This shit is crazy. It's like 20 minutes before they make you re-up now. They're gonna make me buy a fucking membership, dude.
Ain't playing.
Holy shit, this is fucking incredible. All right. This should be the last one for this catch-up episode of Gray Matter, because we have not done this since the Super Bowl. We took the off-season off this season instead of doing a show every Tuesday when there's no football to talk about. That shit was weird. We did it anyway, though. Lessons learned, not to do that shit again. Yeah, if you guys have not seen the Antonio Brown performance, I encourage you to watch it. Absolutely outrageous. Just so over the top and just it's Antonio Brown. I guess this is what you would expect from him now. All right, so I guess we're going to go with some we'll go with some this last part of Gray Matter. We'll go with some because that was all for the headlines so far. It's only day one for most teams, so there will be
mad headlines anyway to catch up on.
there will be, by the time we're back here next week, so many injuries to report, which also means free agent signings to replace these there are veterans who are waiting that don't want to go to a camp, that are just kind of waiting to see where they can sign somewhere. So
absolutely,
the landscape, this is the scariest part of football to me, because this is when people get hurt. So you're just sitting there waiting, you're going to lose a couple players for the season. Who is it and how important are they?
I know we lost Martinez, our linebacker, last year. That sucked.
Yes.
And then on the freakiest of plays, Saquon, who was starting to look good, gets hurt again. I don't know. I tell you what, at least they upgraded the backup quarterback situation. We got Tyrod Taylor now, y'all. So I expect to see Tyrod Taylor out there slinging the rock a little something.
No, what I want to see happen, and we said this is the only hope for his career. Tyrod beats him out in camp, becomes a starter, gets injured.
He's gonna get hurt.
Danny Fumbles comes in and has a Pro Bowl season.
And it's going to be an anomaly because it's only going to be the other one. And then we re-up him.
I was just talking to somebody in the dog park the other day about the four horsemen in the NFL apocalypse, and I could not remember the fourth one. It was Tyrod Taylor, I think.
Yep. Tyrod Taylor.
I always remember the Chargers collapsing, Matt Ryan, and then I forgot the fucking Tyrod Taylor one. That's fucking hilarious. That's so funny. It never fails, though. This guy has birthed like 7 viable careers at quarterback by starting in front of people and getting hurt somehow.
You have a chance to get a critical interception or fumble recovery, and you bobble it, you don't get it, that team's going to score now. It's going to happen.
Division winners. The only thing in my mind that changed is now the Colts are the front runner and ahead of Tennessee because of the loss of A.J. Brown, not just because of Matt Ryan. They also lose A.J. Brown. It's just like, oh, shit, now what are they fucking going to do?
Yeah. Well, who are they now? I mean, aside from just Derrick Henry and,
Exactly. So they're going to Adrian Peterson and they're going to put 11 people in the box and be like, I dare you to throw it to anybody. Ryan Tannehill, you're going to throw it to the defense anyway.
Well, I will say that they should be getting back their rookie corner who they lost to ACL, the one out of Virginia Tech. He should be coming back this year.
Yeah, that ain't going to help a little offense, though.
I mean, I know, but I'm just saying, like, you're gonna be looking to the defense to make plays, and he's a playmaker on defense. So.
Then the AFC West. Honestly, which 4 of those teams is the healthiest through the season?
Who survives?
It will probably survive it. This is like when the NFC East was actually all of them were like good.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like, damn, they're just going to beat each other up, and then whoever wins that division is going to make a playoff run because they're going to have a worse record than other teams in the conference because of having to play these other teams. But when
they're also going to be battle tested.
They're battle tested, and when they
out of them every week.
Yeah, and then when they get in the playoffs, they end up winning 1 or 2 games, and it's just like, shit. Or they fucking as a wild card team just make a run and win the whole thing twice over the Patriots. It happens. It happens. Yeah, watch when Tom wins. I see he's got so many Super Bowls. I don't even remember how many he has at this point.
7?
He's got 7. Yes, will be 8. I always said he's going to go for 9 to try to get 1 more than Belichick, but I think he gets 1 more. That should be it.
Yeah.
I don't even know why he's coming back. What the fuck are you doing? Like,
listen, when you haven't had to be home with your wife and your kids, like all these hours, and you just have to be home just enough. Listen, he tried to do that home life, and he was like,
"Yo, fuck.
Nah, this too much time with y'all.
Yo, fuck these kids.
Hey, y'all still got that job?
Y'all still hiring down at the stadium?
Straight up. They didn't even clear his locker room back. They was like, yes, it's still, everything's the same. We ain't changed shit.
What do you need, Tom? You want Bruce to not be here? All right, he's out. Done. So, so the AFC West, you could literally, I think any team could win. The Joe Burrow injury, the appendicitis thing, I don't know if that's going to be like a lingering issue. And what if he is out for like, say, 4 to 5 weeks?
Oh, this is a new thing?
Yeah, he had appendicitis today. He just got his appendix taken out.
Oh shit.
Yeah, this morning.
Ooh.
They're saying 1 to 3 weeks, but it's just like, he's already missed a half a season because of a bad offensive line and injuries. Just like,
and you remove a whole organ. Granted, that's one that historically we don't use anymore because we don't eat the same. But I mean, it's still a major fucking surgery.
Yeah, it's because there is a recovery period, and he is going to lose weight and be weaker.
Yeah, and I ain't trying to come back to get my ass handed to me with that sorry ass line. Yes, they did add some pieces, but they gotta gel first.
That's what I'm saying. So you could possibly see him missing the first third of the season, and what if Cincinnati now stumbles out the gate?
I mean, he'll probably push it harder.
He will, but you can see Baltimore if they actually stay healthy because they were the injury-riddled team last year, being a contender. Somehow, if they legally make it work and Deshaun Watson plays football, the Browns are absolutely loaded.
Oh,
if he plays football, like so loaded.
And now you got a quarterback you can trust on the field.
On the field.
On the field.
Anybody who brings their own towel to the massage, I got some questions for you, homie. Actually, I don't. I already know the answer.
I bet you that towel was not soft. Anyway, so Joey Boy Band probably comes back week 3, week 4. That's when I would probably come back. And hopefully strong enough, because even you recover there, you gotta get these reps. You got this weight room, like you gotta get your weight back up. So I would need like another 3-4 week, just like, because I already know what I'm dealing with that line. So how about because we haven't talked about this squad, but the NFC Norris, we already know who's gonna win that one. But interesting thing, now that Mike Zimmer, who absolutely hated Captain Kirk, is gone, will we see a different?
No, because that's the fourth horse of the apocalypse. Is Captain Kirk is going one game under 500. His career record is 500 right now. There's 17 games in the season. This man is going 8-9 this season.
But you know what's crazy though?
To fulfill the prophecy.
He still always throws for over 4 Gs.
Yes, of course he does.
Fantasy-wise, he's still a great pickup.
Yeah, it's just they don't win though. They don't win. Teams that he's the quarterback of, they just don't win games. It's like Dak Prescott. There's a lot of empty numbers in some of these quarterbacks. Like hollow stats to where, yeah, of course you guys.
Yeah, but Dak has won way more than
Of course he has.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing though. Dak has not. This is why Jerry Jones is just like, yo, do we really got to give this guy this much money? Because he's not really like. He's not.
I think there's nobody else he can get.
Yeah, he's not a top 5 quarterback.
No.
And you kind of need one of those to win a Super Bowl these days.
Go ahead and get Ben DiNucci. Go ahead. Start him. See what happens.
I mean, whatever. That guy let Tony Romo be the starter for like a decade, and that is...
And he fumbled the damn extra point snap that would have sent Seattle's ass home.
That
could have been a completely different playoff situation.
Well, there's also the next one where Dez actually catches it, and it's just like, But as much as a Tony Romo fan as I was of him, because I always thought that he was underrated as an actual quarterback, like his play, sneaky good, very sneaky good. That's not a Super Bowl winning quarterback. He's not leading you to a Super Bowl.
He's going to give it up to you in the fourth quarter at some point.
100%.
Yeah.
100%, dude. It's definitely happening.
He is an amazing analyst.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Great golfer, too. He won the American Century Classic.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. Hilarious. So, give me what you think will be like a surprise for this season. Because the Bengals were the surprise of last year, going from terrible to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
So there's always something. There's always a team. Second half of this question, there's always a team that goes from worst to first, they say in the NFL. So who has a chance that was terrible to make a jump? Oh, that's even. Who?
Saints.
Yeah, but the Bucs are in that division though, and like.
I mean, yeah, but then who else you got?
Yeah, I know.
Atlanta, who's starting Marcus Mariota, and the Panthers, who pick your poison.
This is true. So you could see them actually sneaking into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. I could see that happening. What if the Browns, no matter who's the quarterback, are really good, and then it was all Baker's fault?
Like, what if they do suspend Deshaun Watson and Briskets is just, all right, fuck it, we're going to roll with Briskets.
So
and they just win week after week.
We know what Briskets can do, which is not lose you football games.
He has like an Ed Morrill type season.
Yeah.
You know, Bob Greasy got hurt, and then takes him all the way to the show and like, hey, Desean, you are unsuspended now.
Desean goes and wins the Super Bowl and is a Cleveland hero for all eternity after 66 rape charges.
Now that would be the surprise of the season.
Oh. I can see that happening though because the roster's so loaded.
Yo, it's crazy.
Pittsburgh's going to take a step back. I mean,
That's Pittsburgh.
you know, Joey Boyband's going to be compromised for the first half of the season, so you can see Cincinnati stumbling, and then, you know, Baltimore, it could go either way. So you could. What if Briskets does lead them to the playoffs?
That would be ill, and I would love that for him. I would love that for him specifically.
Yo, Baker Mayfield would probably be out the NFL after the next year.
He would, he would probably shoot up a post office.
Oh, speaking of out the NFL, fuck, who was it? I think it might have been the Browns. I think they signed the Rosen one. Somebody just signed Josh Rosen.
Yeah, as a quarterback arm. Yeah. So Josh Rosen and another name that they dug about the pile. I was like, oh man, okay.
So how bad was Colin Kaepernick's workout for real? That if the Rosen one's getting a call.
I know. I mean, listen. At least Rosen was like on a team last year and like got reps. Colin ain't been on a team in 6 years.
6 years. That's incredible.
That's too much. That's way too much. This is interesting. What do we think the Jaguars will now look like?
With Peterson as the coach.
Right. Travis Etienne is coming back. This is Lawrence in year 2, which I gotta think that Peterson will know how to utilize.
And, all right.
Way better than fucking Urban Meyer.
He will. So this is, for people who didn't watch terrible football games last year, the Jags played above. They swung above their weight class because they were terrible and their record was terrible, but they were competitive in a lot of games. They were just like, what the fuck?
And the couple games they did win, they won despite Urban Meyer.
And
because he was horrific.
So that's what I'm saying. You have to, now that whole black cloud is literally removed, the finger guns are gone.
Yeah.
What can they do? It's the same thing about Chucky in Vegas, dude. They went to the playoffs with having to deal with that Chucky shit, and now they got Josh McDaniels.
I'm saying, Jaguars could make a little. I think they might surprise some teams this year.
Who else is in their division?
So
Colts.
You got the
Texans, Colts,
Titans,
and Titans.
And the Colts. Yeah.
See, they could because the Texans are going to be trash.
Davis Mills is going to play good though.
The Titans I could see them actually taking a step backwards now.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could see the Jags winning like 6 games, dude.
Yeah, and them not being at the bottom of the division.
Which would be a huge victory if they win like 6 games.
Huge.
Big jump. I could also see the Lions actually winning more than 5 games this year because they were very competitive for like the first half of the year. And they're terrible. They're so bad. Their roster is so garbage. Oh, and their receiver that I told you before the draft from USC, Rom something. It's 2 names.
Okay.
Remember I told when we watched the draft,
Yeah.
and I was just like, yo, dude, I'm telling you. Dude, the second half of the year, he basically led the NFL in receiving like the last 5 years. Yeah, that guy. Remember, that I told you, I was like, yo, that's my guy. That was my guy. And you were like, okay. I was just like, nah, see, I don't.
Because I couldn't trust. Who can you trust outside of Hawkinson on the fucking Lions?
Well, no, it's just like, I don't know. I just saw, like, I don't know how I saw him play because I don't really watch college football, but it happened. And I was just like, oh, he's like really good. Yeah. He just looked like, those receivers that are like pretty solid in college that are going to have like a good NFL career. They're just like better built for the NFL.
Isn't Aquemini's younger brother a receiver on the Lions? Yeah.
That's him. That's what I'm saying. That's him.
Oh yeah, yeah. How about this though? I don't think the Packers are going to be that great, which I don't think that's going to be a huge surprise. They keep saying how great Aaron Rodgers has played without Devontae, without Bakhtiari. I mean, unless they do something to really maybe lean into the running game, I think A.J. Dillon is ready. I think he's ready, and I think they need to like.
He's ready, but so Kerry, after seeing this happen for literally 2 decades, watching the Patriots exist inside of what is the most non-competitive division in football, so they're basically just gifted a playoff position every single year.
Sure.
But they did many things with those gifts.
Sure.
Many things. The Packers are in the same scenario. Aaron Rodgers' entire fucking career, all 3 teams in his division have been horrible.
He's been the daddy.
They are given playoff shots,
He
and
literally told Chicago he's the daddy.
and you see what he's done with those gifts. They have 1 Super Bowl title and lots of early exits. So it's just like you see the difference. But people don't ever talk about how within that division, Lions, Bears, and fucking Vikings have been absolute dumpster fires for decades. Even when the Bears went to the Super Bowl, they were terrible. That was like one of the worst.
Sexy Rexy, who I saw this man throw 6 picks, and they still won only because of defense and special teams. Thank you, Devin Hester and Lance Briggs and Urlacher.
I mean, that was a team that multiple times offense did not score a point and they won games.
I'm telling you, if they have
That's incredible.
any other quarterback, I'm almost guessing. Shit, if they had Danny Dum Dum, I might give him a chance against the Colts in that game.
Yeah. Because it rained too, so you neutralized Peyton Manning completely. And they had the best defense in football, so you can, like, it was just. But yeah, those 3 teams are terrible. The Vikings have been garbage. Garbage. Yeah. Ever since Randy Moss left, they have been trash. Right? The Lions have been perpetual garbage since the 50s.
How about this? And they've had a few of the greatest players to ever play the game. Barry Sanders,
Calvin Johnson.
Megatron. I mean, all you got to say is just those 2. Mel Gray, who was one of the greatest returners of all time. They've had some all-time greats and wasted them all. How about this, though? Who do you think comes out to be MVP of the league this year? It ain't going to be Aaron Rodgers. That's not happening.
What if Derek Carr could sneak through, because he's had MVP caliber campaigns for stretches of seasons before things fell off the rails, because they always did with the Raiders and Chucky.
He did.
So what if he thrives in McDaniel's system and now has Devontae and whatnot, and they win that division, which is the hardest one? What if they have like 13 wins?
Yeah.
If they get the 1 seed in the AFC, of course, give it to them. I can see that happening.
My early favorite is Herbert.
Well, yeah, I want to say Herbert because I think he's the best football player. Like, he has the highest ceiling of anyone. He hasn't even reached it yet. Lamar Jackson's always in the conversation because he is so important to his team's success.
So dynamic, yeah.
You know, but I can see Derek Carr literally having.
I'd love that for him too.
I mean, Matt Ryan had an MVP season. You know, I can see Derek Carr. I can see that one. Herbert. Patrick Mahomes.
How good would that be? How many wide receivers can say they went from one MVP to the next one?
I make MVPs.
I make MVPs, bitch.
I mean, Tom is definitely going to be in the conversation. You know, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, listen. I made the mistake. I had an opportunity to grab him in fantasy last year. And I was like, well, I mean, I don't know.
I had Herbert though, so I was set.
And then yeah, I mean, I had Aaron Rodgers. So I was like,
yeah, until that playoffs happened. Woo.
Then no, that's it. Then this guy just decides I'm gonna just lead the league in touchdowns. I'm like, what? What the fuck is this? So.
Oh, speaking of Aaron Rodgers, did you see how he arrived in camp? Because you know, arriving at NFL training camp is always a big deal. You saw how this guy showed up today?
Mm-hmm.
Cameron Poe, put the buddy back.
Mm-hmm. It's like, walking through the back down. I'm like, this fucking guy. Fucking slow-mo. He had the card for him last year.
He is so ridiculously good at football that he could act like that.
Yeah, and you know that. It's like, as I was watching it, I was like, oh, you cocky fuck. But at the same time, I'm like, but you are fucking really good.
You're like, you're universally known by all football fans as the best thrower of the football that any of us has ever seen.
No doubt.
That you're not the best quarterback because Tom is. It's undeniable. There's too much success. There's too much leadership, and too many numbers. See, that's the crazy thing. Yeah, Aaron is the best thrower of the football, but Tom led the league in passing again. Again, like
crazy.
At 44. Like, this is stupid.
Yeah. Love it.
And looked incredible doing it. I watched every snap. Looked great. Ball had
strong.
So much zip on it. It was just like, oh, Jesus Christ.
It looked strong.
Yeah. Doesn't have like the Peyton Manning fade when the Peyton Manning's last year was literally just layups. He was just like, here, you take it.
Okay. Offensive Rookie of the Year.
See, I don't know nothing about college football, so
Okay.
I think that
So we'll wait till we get into the season to do rookies.
I think that given how pass heavy the NFL is now and how rookies are coming in and contributing immediately, and this draft particularly was front end loaded on receivers, I could see somebody having like a huge year, because it's happened the last couple of years in a row that a rookie receiver has just come in and had like 1,400 yards and 16 touchdowns. It's just like, oh shit. But they're also, is that the new norm, or did we just happen to catch a couple of all-time greats back to back? Justin Jefferson, Ja'Marr Chase.
True.
Like, do people realize how good these two actually are, or do they just think this is how it always is?
They played on the same squad, at LSU, right? But also think, who else were teammates? Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham were teammates at the same time at LSU and both put up 1,000-yard seasons. LSU, listen, they get some receivers and some damn safeties and corners.
Their receiver talent, but having Chase and Jefferson at the same time and seeing what they did. And, I mean, once we saw Justin Jefferson have success, I called it immediately. Well, Chase is actually better than him, so wait till this guy gets to the league. Like, like you guys, that's the only. That's kind of like the last time I watched college football is when those two were playing with each other, because I was just like, oh my God, these guys are amazing.
To have a good, fucking very good year.
Yeah.
You know they're gonna be doubling the shit out of Jamar.
Yeah.
Not to say he can get busy, but he's gonna eat whoever's gonna cover him.
So that's one of the questions that I have is, did the Bengals find somebody to roam the middle while these giants and speedsters are running
right.
outside?
They need that. Yeah, they need that.
So we should. Another retiree, Buster Skrine.
Oh, the screen one left.
11 years.
Oh, the screen door.
11 years, dude.
Good for him.
Solid career.
Good for him. I like that. I like to see cats win, like the top. But we've heard the names. They've made some plays, and they just lasted.
Yeah, 11. You have to understand, the average NFL career is less than 3 years. So it's just like, you see 11 years, it's just like, oh man, not only were you successful, but you were also healthy, which is like, you made it. Good for you.
And you kept getting contracts.
Yeah. Which is a big deal, because this league is younger, cheaper. That is the name of the game at all times. Younger,
and
cheaper.
There's some teams, organizations, who they have a philosophy of cutting vets. They get to like 32, they're like, yeah, it's time.
Patriots, we'll cut anybody. Anybody can get it.
Pittsburgh was like that for a while.
Middle of training camp, Lawyer Malloy.
Back in the Coward days, definitely like that.
I will say that I've seen the Pats with the most ruthless cuts of all time, cutting Lamar.
Man, cutting Richard Seymour, I didn't think that was going to happen.
Lawyer Malloy literally the game week, and then he goes to Buffalo and gives them all the signs, and Buffalo beats the Pats 31-0, and then the Pats go win the Super Bowl anyway. And then cutting that receiver from Rutgers, I can't remember his name, Super Bowl morning.
Yes. Oh, yeah. No, that was Kenny Britt.
Yeah.
Who fucked his career. That cat could have been special.
Yeah, they cut that guy literally Super Bowl morning, and I remember when I saw that, and they added a practice squad lineman as a backup. It's like this, whatever.
Yeah, offensive lineman. Oh, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. I texted Dice, was just like, yeah, we're about to lose this one. This football card was going to kill us for this one. Yeah, we did. We lost. That was one of the ones we lost. Yep.
And then what they did to Malcolm Butler, I'll never forget.
Which is another one we lost. The football karma.
Yeah, that was fucked.
And now Malcolm Butler's back with the Pats.
He is?
Yep. Welcome back, baby.
It always happens. The defenders always go back. Oh, another retiree. What's his face's twin brother? Retired. Jason McCourty.
Jason McCourty has now replaced Nate Burleson on Good Morning Football.
Oh, nice.
So Nate Burleson is gone, and Jason, because Nate Burleson's doing like ABC News now. He's like a media. He's the next Strahan. He's like a media guy.
Strahan. Yeah, exactly. He's the new Strahan.
He's so good at it though, so good.
Yeah.
And then Kay Adams also left Good Morning Football.
Oh, she did? Because I was wondering. I was like, who's these other chicks? Where's she at?
She hasn't landed anywhere yet, which is looking like possibly Amazon whenever they get into the game.
Because I know she lives in New York Center.
And Danny Amendola will bring that one full circle. That used to be his girl.
It did?
Yeah, he used to date her. And now it's with Olivia Culpa or whatever her name is.
Olivia who?
Culpa, she's some actress. Culpa? I don't know. So Jason McCourty gets slid right into that job. Like, this is a big job. Here, take this. So we'll see how I don't watch that show anymore, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really either.
It's too over the top. They have too much weird shit on there. Yeah. Oh, if you were an ice cream and a Cincinnati Bengal, which player would you be and which flavor would you eat? It's just like the weirdest shit, and it's just like, who cares?
Shit, I did have one for you, though.
A defensive player of the year, Micah Parsons.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Michael Parsons. Yep, I was going to say defensive player of the year, and I think it's going to be Michael Parsons.
He's probably the best defensive player of football already. Like, he's so good. He's so good.
Outside of Aaron Donald, like the regular humans, yes.
And I think at this point, I'm not saying Aaron Donald is on like the down, but he's ready to retire.
He is ready.
He's ready to go. So I'll tell you, Michael, and if you just watch him play, Micah Parsons is the best defensive player of football. It's just like, oh, wow, he's better than everybody. Holy shit. Mm-hmm. He's the first player that I've seen that reminds me of Lawrence Taylor. Yeah.
And I had him. I was in my IDP league last year, and I had him. I drafted him because I knew. Then I got an injury.
It was just like, this guy, he played like everything in college, like literally. How do you go from hand down on the ground, defensive end, middle linebacker, slide to outside linebacker, and then go play safety if they need you to? Coverage, whatever. Just everything. It was just like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah,
what?
He's that dude.
Yeah.
He's that dude. Beating BBs in the 40. He's that dude.
Yeah, so talented.
Now that Von Miller is with the Bills, that's a huge pickup.
Right there is early Super Bowl favorite on everybody's list right now is the Bills. They got better. They didn't lose anybody. The slot receiver that we said should have.
Gabriel Davis?
No, the little white dude with the.
Oh, Cole Beasley.
Yeah, Cole Beasley. They lost, but whatever.
You have Gabriel Davis, who scored 4 touchdowns in a playoff game.
Yes.
Something Jerry Rice has never done.
So adding Von Miller is fucking huge. Not only on field production, but also in Super Bowl caliber and pedigree.
In the locker room, you have former Coug, Big Eddie Oliver. You got a lot of young guys on that defensive line who can look to Von Miller. If you don't think they're going to step up their play, you're crazy.
Yeah, early Super Bowl favorites there.
Davius White is hurt, though, and he won't be back until I think week 5.
I mean, as we say it at all times, we said it in both seasons that we've done this, and I'll say it in season 3. Yeah, whoever stays healthy.
Yeah.
It's been whoever's been healthy for the last couple years.
Yeah.
It's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
And the Rams...
We called the Rams early when it was like, oh, if they play like this, they're going to win.
Well, I told you in week 1.
Yeah. But then you see they had to go through the attrition. We're like, oh.
I might have been...
They got Odell, and we're like, oh, they're back in the...
I might have been a little bit overzealous and said the Rams are going undefeated after week 1.
I was like, yeah, I don't think they're going to go undefeated.
But you know what I meant, though. It was just like, oh, my God, look at these guys already.
Yeah,
Jesus. And then, see, they were able to stay healthy just long enough. Odell was able to make plays in the Super Bowl to kind of set the tone, and then he was done. But it was already rolling.
Mm-hmm.
So they stayed just enough.
And no one can fucking stop Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
It's done. And when you put Eli Apple on him, I was like, that's game over.
All right, so talking about fantasy real quick. In a fantasy draft, has the league changed so much and is Cooper Kupp so valuable now that he warrants a first-round pick instead of a running back?
Yes.
Like, top 3 pick.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've already been looking at it like, I already told you. Yeah, I'll get a running back in the second round. I'm not even... You got to get one of these receivers.
That was a Triple Crown winner. If he stays healthy, like, this is what he does. I got him when he was a rookie, right? Because I was like, there's something about this kid. He just makes plays. So I picked him up. I was winning every week. This cat was just getting busy. And he was the slot. He was the third receiver. I was like, they don't know. Like, they don't know. Like, I love when I win the chip, it's always because I identify a rookie who was just, I'm like, you next. Tyreek Hill. And he was a rookie. And he was just returning kicks. And I was in this league that you picked up, like, yardage for that. I was like, well, I'll just get here because this cat is crazy on the return. Then they started letting him play wide receiver. Won the league easily. Done. Same thing with Odell Beckham. I had Ben Roethlisberger and AB. And then Odell, remember, he's hurt until week 5. I picked him up in week 3 and just sat him. I was like, he's going to come back and kill it. I didn't think he was going to kill it like that.
Yo, I can see... we already said I think Devontae is going to have a big year just because he's that good and he's with... Come on. But... oh, fuck. Who did I just have in my brain? It was another receiver. Oh, Keenan Allen. I think Justin Herbert just keeps getting better.
Yeah.
And now Keenan Allen's numbers are just going to keep getting... Because Keenan Allen's right in that pocket of being at his peak of productivity.
Because he can't be covered.
Yeah.
Like, if he didn't get injured as often as he did early in his career, his numbers would be crazy. His receptions especially would be crazy.
He's just that, he's just like Anquan Bolden almost. It's just like he's not faster than everybody, but you can't cover him. And even if you do, he's going to catch it anyway.
Yeah.
He's just so good.
Unlike Anquan, he goes down.
Yeah.
He'll dip you on the move, catch, go down.
Smart.
So he's more like, yeah. He's more like the Rams or Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt and them. Like,
yeah, he ain't built like them though. He's built a lot bigger than those guys were. But I can see Keenan Allen having a huge fucking year, like huge statistically. Because why not? Justin Herbert's just going to keep getting better. He's on the Josh Allen trajectory.
I will say this: shout out to John Mechie III, rookie wide receiver out of Alabama who went to the Texans. Who just found out he had leukemia. Like, man. Your dream just came through, and you got hit with this. But yo, stay strong. Like,
well, the good thing on his side is he is part of an NFL roster and now has access to literally the best doctors and the best medical care possible.
Yeah,
and he's
in Houston,
yeah,
which is super key because Memorial Hermann is the best cancer center.
That's what I'm saying. Like
and
the NFL teams do take care of their players in these scenarios like this. They don't necessarily take care of their players once you're done and you've retired.
No. once your brain is addled,
But
and you got hit at 33 like Demaryius Thomas.
if you can make it onto that squad, then you're a made man until you're not.
Yeah.
Which is nuts because it can still happen instantly in the NFL. You can still just get cut.
Can.
Crazy. That's why these guaranteed contracts are so key. They're just like
So key. So key.
I mean, it's nuts that in a sport so violent with so many injuries that happen that you could just get cut so easily. It was just like it is literally gladiators. Once your fucking leg is done, they just pull you off the battlefield and put somebody else in.
Your body is forever changed. It's never the same. One of my homies who was in the league for a while, his walk is the struggle bus, like for real.
Oh, my head.
And I just talked to him, and I was like, yo, I was with him. When I was on H-Town, and I was like, yo, would you change anything? And he was like, hell nah.
No, I wouldn't. Dude, my brain is sometimes when it's not weed smoke, it is literally like baked macaroni and cheese, 17 concussions. You can ask me all day for the rest of my life, was it worth it? Fuck yes. There is no hesitation. Fuck yes.
None.
Absolutely none.
No.
All right, homie. So it's good to be back. I'll figure out this Zoom thing because this 20-minute thing is fucking annoying. This is new.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, that's absolutely nuts. So it's good to be back, and I will see you next Tuesday, and we will see who can survive camp because it is injury season.
Oh yeah. All right, Brody.
All right, everybody. That was fucking dope. I'm gonna go walk the dog and eat some ice cream. Important shit.